T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to the Hive, everybody. We have a really great show, another really great show, and we have Bebop here in the Hive. And we have a Northern California Speedway week, so we're going to start off with that. Welcome to the Northern California week in the Hive. And we have a really great week. It's all Northern California week, starting with the amazing Russell Green, the Rocket, in the Hive. Then following Russell, we have the promoter of Fast Fridays, the one, the only, Dave Joyner. After Dave, we have a writer, a very good young writer, very talented, Mr. Rees Todd. It's going to be an all Northern California week this week in the Hive. You're not going to want to miss it. We may have some surprise visitors, so stay tuned. All week, Northern California is in the Hive. Northern California in the Hive. Be there! Yeah, be there! Hey, we have a really great show, like we mentioned. We have a writer from the Auburn area. I think it's Auburn. And he's the older brother of Renton Todd. And today we have a really good writer, and his name is Mr. Rees Todd. Rees Todd. Hi, how you doing?
Hey, Brian.
Hey, nice to see you, buddy.
Oh, I like this show. This is pretty cool. I like it. I like what
You
you're
like
doing.
the show? Is this the
Yeah, I
first
like what
time
you're
you've
doing.
seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Oh, and you're on the show, so you like it a lot. Oh,
I'm honored to be
that's
here.
cool. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule and hanging out with us in the Hive today. And so let me get this straight. When I was talking to your brother, Renton, he said that you actually had the Speedway bike first, and then I guess he started riding because of you. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I when I first started, I always dreamed of racing Fast Fridays one day. I was like, man, I want to do it. Man, I want to do it. Growing up as a kid, And then finally, the last few years, I've been like, oh, I'm going to do it next year. Oh, I'm going to do it next year. I'm going to do it next year. And I finally was like, why do I keep saying that? The more I say that, the older I'm going to get, So I just said, you know what? That's it. I'm budgeting it. I bought a bike. I did started off on D3, and it was rough. It was definitely rough because, like, my first time on the bike was at Fast Fridays, and I'm like, all right, like, let's figure this thing out, So it was definitely rough, and it was a lot of fun until John Schroeder came around. That guy is a blessing in disguise. That he's got a practice track out there, and that's what actually got me hooked and going. And then I drug Retton involved, right after my first season of Fast Fridays, and he started playing around. So he got hooked. So
very good. So did you practice, or you just went out to Fast Fridays cold turkey and just ride?
That's it. Fast Fridays cold turkey. Like, all right, like, what am I doing? Like, oh, they're dumping the clutch. Okay, dump the clutch at the gate. I've done a loop out once or twice.
Oh, that's
lessons
too
gotta
much
be
fun.
learned.
Yeah, you go out there and ride, and actually, racing is one way to learn. Because I kind of did that too when I was like starting Speedway, and I was really crappy, like a D4 rider in D3. I sucked, man. But it was fun.
You had your training wheels on?
I had my training wheels on, but I didn't care because you know what? I was riding a Speedway bike.
Yeah, that's all that matters. You
I was racing, so I was like a rider, so I didn't care how I looked as long as I was out on a Speedway track and doing my best.
Yeah, loser or not, I'm still a Speedway rider.
I lost all the time when I never won hardly when I was racing at beginning. So it didn't matter. As long as I was on the track, that was all that mattered.
Yeah, no, definitely. Did you work on your own stuff or what?
I didn't know how to work on my bike really when I first got my bike. I really didn't know much about it. I wasn't really good about Speedway, and I didn't know how to change a gear. I didn't know how to do anything until I started getting lessons and being taught by people. But when I first got the bike, I had like the gearing on at Costa Mesa. I was riding Costa Mesa at the time, and I never changed the gear. I didn't know anything. I was running a 22-inch tire. I just knew it was a Speedway bike. I didn't even know there was gears. I just rode.
Yeah, you have to tighten a clutch.
I didn't know anything. I just I knew I was riding a Speedway bike, and that was all that mattered.
Yeah, as long as you had air and oil in it, you'll be
okay. I knew you had to have oil in the fuel in the oil tank, and you had to have air in the tires and fuel in the gas tank. But other than that, I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah, it's definitely a learning curve. I remember when I first started, like, I had no idea. I was scared to take my bike apart because I'm like, where do I get parts? I got my first bike off of Jeff Page. He just recently passed away. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, so I got my first bike off Jeff Page, and that was really cool. But I was really scared to take it apart because I'm like, okay, where do I get these parts? Like, I had no idea who Billy Hamill was. I had no idea who John Schroeder. I knew nobody. The only person I knew was Bryce Starks. And he just had, milk crate full of stuff sitting around. But, so I just took it all apart, just kept take it apart, put it back together, like I don't want to mix match anything or screw anything up, But yeah, no, definitely taking it apart, putting it back together was, a learning curve, and didn't touch the engine until later, until I broke some valve springs. And then I was running around, like a chicken without a head, trying to figure out where do I get valve springs for next week's race, But
well, you're smarter than me. You're a lot smarter. You got dangerous going into the engine and work out the valve springs. I mean, I would never do that in a million years.
yeah, no, I was just worried trying to figure out where to get parts, But that's hard. But now I've grown in inventory and stuff over time. Eventually I do. I absorb parts, projects. Blowing up engines, and that's the stuff that I want, and that's what I've been kind of getting here and there. And so, but just recently, the engine that actually I'm running, it's a Jawa. It blew up. It burned up a rod bearing and piston and all that stuff. So I split the crank and tore it all apart, rebuilt it, and put it all back together. And that's what I've been running this season. So I rebuild engines now. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
That's cool. You have a lot of, you're courageous to, go ahead and start tearing them apart. That's really great. Oh,
benefit of being a mechanic.
Yeah. So when I get my next Speedway bike, you can be my mechanic too.
Hey, bring it on. Bring it on.
I will. Oh, that's awesome. So did you ride motorcycles all your life, or did you just kind of start getting into Speedway just because you liked the Fast Fridays?
So we did motocross when I was a kid. Like I can remember, racing on the Pee-wees, the little 2-stroke Pee-wees, and then jumping up to a CR50, as a little kid, I remember being on the 50s and, racing with these guys, and, I'd win. So then what my dad would do is he'd bump me up another class. And then I remember, racing, like, man, why do I keep getting 10th, And then all of a sudden I get bumped up another class. I'm like, hey, Dad, why are these guys jumping over my head? And I'm coming in like last place, He just kept pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. So that was just on a CR50. I was a little kid. But when the economy crashed back, I think it was like 2008 or whatever, we all had to stop or whatever and stuff. So it was definitely, I always wanted to get back into it. Always dreamed and stuff like that. But I did some motocross, pit biking around, but I've always wanted to get back in, and Speedway was the open door. So glad I'm in it right now.
And you live close to the track, right? You live like a few minutes away from Auburn.
Like 7 minutes. 7 minutes down the street from the track. Yeah. We're right off Highway 49, which is right down the street from the Auburn Fairgrounds. So some nights, like I remember growing up, some nights you'd actually hear Fast Fridays going on from our house. Like when they're doing the 25 main lap, it's just wow. You're like, damn, they got it going on.
Yeah, we had Dave Joyner on the show last night, and we talked about that 25 lapper, and that's crazy. And he's the only one doing it nowadays, so it's really great.
Yeah, no, eventually I'd like to do that. Now that I'm D1, last year I was D3, D2, and then all of a sudden it just like a light bulb just clicked, and then everything started getting faster and faster, and we couldn't ride D2 anymore because it's no fun taking home D2 trophies. You gotta move up. So that's where it's at.
You're picking it up. I mean, you're right there with Renton. You're just a little behind him, but you're like side by side with Renton. And Renton's really going fast. So I mean, that's a compliment.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty impressed with him because I mean I started earlier before he did a full season, so I had a full season on him. But I was like learning all the loops and everything and trying to figure out all the stuff. But the minute I think it was like over halfway through the season, that's when I met John Schroeder and then started doing practice days out there. And then after the season was up, I brought Renton in and then bought some parts and built him a bike and got him going. And then he started getting some hookups on sponsors and stuff like that. And it's pretty nice being a 21-year-old tree climber because you got that core body and, you just, you're young and you're just full of energy and you just want to let it out. So he's definitely got it and will go far, especially with all the sponsors he's got going on right now. Really looking to see how far he'll go.
Oh, he'll probably go far. No doubt.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 25. I'm hoping, I could do something quick. That's what I'm kind of like pushing. If I could do something quick and go far, but I mean, if I have to be a wrench for someone the rest of my life in the pits, that's whatever.
Yeah, speedway really is a young guy's sport. You know, the younger the better to get into speedway. It doesn't mean you can't ride. It just means that, like, I believe people argue with me all the time. Like a few people, I don't want to mention names, but I really, speedway's fun no matter what age you ride. So it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, like if you start off young or not. I mean, if you ride, it's just fun to ride speedway. So that's just, that's the whole thing, is the fun part of riding. But to be a high level European style, going to the GP style, I mean, old guys can't go there.
Oh, no. I mean, that's pretty cool seeing. I think Greg Hancock just turned 50, right?
Yeah.
And he just retired. I mean, it's like, wow, you can go that far if you're that smart and smooth, It's not about how hard you work, it's about how smart you work, on your career. And I mean, that's the mindset,
Exactly.
I can't
the thing is that, Renton, that it's, Greg Hancock had 30 years of background behind him. So even if he was 45, it's okay. Greg Hancock, is unbelievable. But I'm talking about a rider who just starts, let's say 30 years old. He doesn't have a chance from cold turkey.
Oh, no.
Greg Hancock, he started with Bruce Penhall, when he was 11 years old. So he has all that training. So a guy like that can ride till he's 50 or 60, maybe. At least, the guy's amazing, unbelievable. But if Greg Hancock started at 40 years old, he would suck.
Yeah, no, he'd just be that D3, D2 champion, and woo, look at me.
Exactly. I mean, but being all those years that Greg Hancock has experience, I mean, he could literally just go out and win almost every D1 main today.
Oh, yeah.
He could go out there cold turkey and win D1 mains today. He's so good because of all those years experience on the speedway bike. And even though he's around 50 or something like that, it doesn't matter really for a guy that good.
Yeah. No, he's definitely got it going on. And I look up to him and inspire him, It's like, that's the guy I want to be, Definitely.
Yeah, he's really one of the most unbelievable riders I ever saw. I mean, I watched him practice when he was racing the GP. He actually coached me. He was my teacher for a few days at Paris. I had Greg Hancock one-on-one for coaching me, and that was good.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I think Luke Becker had him coaching him not too long ago. Luke Becker was being coached by Greg Hancock, I think, just recently. So that would be kind of cool.
Greg's a great coach. He really knows how to he knows how to teach you, and he knows a lot. He knows a lot. So yeah, he's a great guy and a great coach, and it was good. I had a problem in my turn 4. I think I mentioned this before. I had a problem in gate 4. I mean, when I was always nervous, especially on the small tracks like Costa Mesa or maybe Fast Fridays. Gate 4. Diving into the pole at the beginning of the race.
Yeah.
And I had a little phobia about that because I just and then I talked to Greg and I said, Greg, I'm on gate 4 on a little track, what do I do? And what's the best thing? And he told me just to go for it, dude.
Yeah, you got to slam the door in their face. You just got to just go for it, slam the door.
Yep.
That's my line. Get out of there.
Just go. It caused me actually my last race, I had a really good year in 2008, and then I did that, and one rider, he actually didn't turn. He just went straight through me and ran me over. He was pissed. And I broke my collarbone right here, and then I broke half of my body was the color of my shirt. It was all black.
Oh.
I think I broke all my ribs and stuff.
You don't remember. It just happened so quick.
I saw the video. I should have played it, but I have the video. It's actually on my channel. And we have my best friend forever, Tammy, saying hi.
Hi, Tammy.
Yeah, say hi to Rees, Tammy. I have this girl. She was actually my Speedway fan when I was 16 years old, Tammy, and she just said hi to everybody. And she was with me since the beginning, since I was a little high school writer.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so my just destroyed my body. I was laid up for like 2 months in bed, and I couldn't walk and move, and it was bad. So, yeah, that's the negative side. And I think the guy didn't like me. I probably won't mention his name. He probably already knows I've mentioned his name a couple of times, but he was just a big fat guy, and he weighs about 300 pounds, and he just ran right over me.
Poor bike.
Yeah, my bike got sound. I think I'm a big guy myself, and I bent over like a pretzel, like my body, and I was going backwards like 60 miles an hour into the wall, and I broke all my ribs and everything, and I probably did damage. I had like internal bleeding because I had like black. I was just, and I couldn't sleep in my bed because I couldn't wait. I couldn't get out of bed, very easy. I had to sleep in my pickup truck for a month.
Oh, that's not good. I haven't broken anything. I've never had stitches, knock on wood, I'm doing pretty good, for as many times as I crash, it's pretty impressive, you got to watch all the Mission Impossible movies, and learn how to do all your barrel rolls and dives and tumbles. And
Is this you? Is this you right here?
That's me. That's me.
Is that your crash?
That is. So the bike put a hole in the wall. While I was tumbling, bike put a hole in the wall. And that was at Bakersfield, I couldn't see the weekend go without putting a hole in it, Brand new wall. You gotta mark your territory, right?
I think Steve Evans doesn't want you to ride there no more.
If I bring plywood, will we welcome me again?
That plywood's expensive. It's expensive. I'm telling you, that 1-inch thick plywood costs big money. Hey, we have a video of you crashing. Do you want to see it?
Yeah, which one?
The one in Bakersfield, since we're talking about Bakersfield?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this is Rees Todd crashing in Bakersfield. I don't think it was the wall, right? This wasn't the wall, no?
No, this was the wall.
Oh, this was the wall? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you crashed like 5 or 10 times in Bakersfield, so I want to make sure which crash this was.
Well, yeah, you might have just the video of just that one. All the other ones are undocumented.
Okay. Oh, I saw the bike hit the wall, so that was the bike, like the wheel or the handlebars or something.
Yeah, it was the front handlebar. So the handlebars got turned left, and then the front wheel smashed into it. So it actually bent the front forks and wadded up the frame. So
no,
I got work to do. But
are you gonna be able to fix that soon, or is it gonna take a while?
So what I'm thinking about doing is I'm working on getting a new suit right now. I got some sponsors and stuff that are helping me out, and really thankful for them and stuff. And I've been in contact with Mike Dilkey. He's his son I'm really good friends with since high school. But Mike Dilkey's hooking me up on a suit, helping me out, and I've been kind of lazy on it because I've been so busy, trying to get him all the logos and the sizes, and, just crazy busy. But he's hooking me up on a suit. So I think I might hang up my leathers, and I might just rock the overalls or something like that for now until I get my brand new Kevlar suit. But I'll pull out my old blue Speedway bike and fix that up a little bit, drop the good engine in it, and maybe just rock the overalls for now until I get my Kevlars. So
yeah, you wear these. Is this the overalls? We're gonna find these things here. I can't believe you're wearing these things. You look like a country bumpkin, I think. Here.
Country bumpkin.
You look like a bumpkin. Is this you, the country bumpkin?
Me. That's me. That's actually at City of Industry when we went to the Gumball Rally.
Oh, so nice.
So I went there. That's a Team SOS bike. So
yeah.
I went there. I did the practice. Hey, there's David Perry in the back falling down. Yeah, I went there. I did the practice. And then my first race I went out there and did. I didn't even make the first race. The bike blew up on practice. So yeah, I drove all the way down there just to do practice, and then we were gonna do race right afterwards, and the engine blew up on my bike. And I'm like, crap, I need a bike. So I didn't know Lawrence McNutt with Team SOS at the time. So I just kind of heard about them and stuff like that. And, they're pretty cool people. And then just went over there and I asked him if he had an extra bike, and he says, yeah, take my backup. So
cool.
I rode his backup for that night, and that was
very nice.
Yeah, I was D3 at the time, so it was definitely still learning, and I realized this is a fast bike compared to my old Jawa. I was just like, man, this thing hooks up perfect. Just the gearing, and wow, I need new equipment.
Yeah, you had an old tired motor. It sounds like, but it needed a new piston and ring,
all the bearing seats,
valves,
all the bearing seats up. I had it on the stand, and I just got off track. I was ready to and it just locked up. I'm like, what? No way.
So you drove all the way from Northern Cal all the way down to the Grand, and then your bike blew up.
Yep. And I'm like, now what?
Oh my gosh.
Now what do I do?
And you're lucky you got a hold of Lawrence, because he's a really great guy and just amazing. We had him on the show. He's like the best.
He is a character. He's a really good guy. I admire him. Him and having all those kids and stuff that he's helping out and giving them the opportunity, because that's what the Speedway's all about. When if I could do this when I was younger, that'd be great, but I couldn't afford it. But he takes these kids that got talent and they want to do something with their life, and he gives it to them. And I really admire that about Lawrence, and what he does is, Kyle Cunningham, for instance, that kid's going to go far, and he's only 16.
Oh, God.
If it weren't for Lawrence, he, who knows what he would do. If he'd playing Game Boy and riding skateboards,
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle Cunningham's going to go far, I see. Cool kid.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Kyle is really, really good guy, and he's really. I mean, for only 6, I thought he was older than 16.
Oh yeah, no, he's 16. The kid's got a future ahead of him. Yeah.
Oh, he's. I mean, that guy's got talent.
Yeah, Division 1. I mean, he's picking it up. Because he was in Division 2 last year when I started, right? When I got into D2, he was already up there. And, I was just still learning loop. I still learn people every day. I don't know who's who because I'm still fresh to the sport. So people walk up to me and they're like, what do I say? Who are you?
Hey, we all got to start somewhere, and, it's all good, it doesn't matter, because the Speedway is like a family, everyone, gets to know each other, and, it doesn't matter if you're the best or not. You're really developing really fast, though. Your development is amazing, compared to where you were a year ago.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm really happy about it. And, I mean, I have to really say thanks to Steve Evans for putting on Paris, because, Fast Fridays is a fun, fast track, but it's small. But the minute I got down to Steve Evans and Paris, it's so much bigger. You can experience speed. You just more slide time, and I just can't wait to show up to Fast Fridays and see what a short track's like. I mean, man, just
it's different. It's different than a longer track for sure.
Yeah,
it's way. Are you gonna go to practice this Saturday from 4:00 to 7 and Fast Fridays? Are you working or your bike?
Unfortunately, I'm not. I work. I got some work that I'm doing. I also do race car stuff. So I work for a race car rental company, and on the weekends I rent race cars out, and I'll be in Sonoma. I'll be over at Sonoma Raceway working. So
is this a car you guys work on here?
Yeah, so that's actually me driving the car.
Wow.
That's at a 25-hour of Thunderhill with NASA, the region NASA, and that was me actually. I just got in the car that evening, and I think Yep, there I am. Me, my sister, and my dad. So
nice.
Good pictures. Yeah, the 25 hours of Thunderhill. So the 25-hour race that starts from 11 o'clock in the morning on Saturday and ends at 12 o'clock on Sunday the next day. It's all day, all night, all morning, and it's stressful. Sometimes I don't sleep. Sometimes I'm just drinking energy drinks and Mountain Dews, trying to keep the cars going and stuff like that. I got 4 drivers per car, and sometimes I'm driving the car and taking care of it and wrenching it, and it's just like, it's chaotic and stuff. And I'm running a pit team and helping out and stuff, so it's definitely, it's a whole other ball game,
So you're a pit man in that particular team? You're a pit man or a driver?
Yeah.
You're a pit man? You're
Both.
a pit man and driver?
Yeah. So the owner of the company is A Plus Racing, or what it is, and the owner of it's Al Anglo over at Placer High School up here in Auburn, California. And so he races these Miatas, and he teaches high school auto. So he brings, there's Al Anglo, all his students and stuff like that. Will McCloskey's in there. I don't know if you can see him in the middle.
Yeah.
Will McCloskey was in his class and stuff, and he comes out and helps. He's a speedway rider as well.
Very good.
Yeah. So, but he teaches kids how to work on these race cars, and then he takes them out to the racetrack and rents them out, and the kid, they beat them up. And then he brings them back to the auto shop, and the kids learn how to work on them, pulling out dents and, fixing bent tie rods and stuff. And, it's a lot of fun. And I was in that class, and that's how I became a really good mechanic, was because of him. But I started getting into the racing because of him, and I just kept going and going. And it was just like, I want more. But it's 4 wheels, I can do 4 wheels in a molder. I can't do 2 wheels in a molder. So I'm trying to do the 2 wheels now. And maybe later on in life, I'll just stick to 4.
4 is a little more safer than 2.
Oh, it's way safer. Yeah, you can wreck and roll, and you're all right, But when you're on a bike, you can only do this when you're young,
Oh, for sure. Oh, that. Did you race I was going to ask you a question. Did you race the race they had last year at Fast Fridays? Were you in that race when they had nobody at the track?
Yeah. So I was in Division 2. I was in Division 2 in that one. So I wasn't as good as I am now. Every time I go out, it's always something new. I get better and better each time. But I was in Division 2 at the time, and so was Rees Todd, my brother.
I'm going to play a clip a couple minutes, and show, because it's really weird to see like a speedway race and like nobody's in the stands. It's so freaky.
Sad. It's sad.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's just like where's the hooting and hollering and the beer slinging and give me some hands to slap. None of it.
The poor Rooney. He's talking to himself.
I know. Poor Mike.
Oh, that guy. And then we have Dave Joyner. He's saying, it's really sad when there's nobody like paying admission. And he lost a lot of money because, it didn't make it because, Speedway's funded by the people that come, the concession stands, the riders, it kind of funds itself. But when there's no spectators, there's kind of a big problem with Speedway.
Yeah, no, it's not paying for itself and stuff. And like he was saying, different counties, Steve's got it a lot easier down there because of the county he's in. But Placer County's a little more expensive and, more rules and policies that he has to follow. And so it makes sense, So without spectators, it's almost impossible unless he's going broke. He puts his personal money into it.
I think he said he lost like $2,000. That's a lot of money for anybody to lose. $2,000. That'll send you poor real fast if you lose that every race.
yeah, but that's like him trying to do it every Friday night. It's impossible.
Impossible.
He might as well just live on the street.
Yeah, he will be on the streets and losing $2,000 every Friday night. Anybody would be on the streets.
Yeah, but they got to race Friday night. That's all that mattered, right?
Yeah, and he's going to start the schedule, I think, on like May 27th, and hopefully no delays. So we're excited. He's really working hard for you guys to like get that program started on time and run a full race schedule. And he's really determined. So, but we're going to go back to 2020. Go back. We don't want to go back.
No, delete it. We
don't want to see 2020.
No.
We don't see 2021 too much. We're going to show you a little bit about sad Speedway with nobody in the stand.
Welcome back to part 2 of Extreme Speedway Action's race report at Fast Friday Speedway in Auburn, California. Let's take a look at some of the activity on the track and some of the activity in the pits.
Yeah, it's our first race of the season. Of course, we're kind of stuck in the mud here with the COVID thing, and I have to say, it's kind of like NASCAR and what they're suffering from. All the drivers are used to being there for the fans and putting on, and this place is a little bit quiet for me. I'm used to the fans roaring and cheering and having a great time and having a few beers and enjoying our great food concession and things like that. This is a very unique situation that we're in here, of course, with the COVID thing, the thing being presented in a drive-in style with all of our customers up into the parking lot and watching it all on big screen TV. It's never been done like this before. I guess this is the next best thing.
Auburn has a special place for me. This is where I did my first sidecar race ever as a passenger 21 years ago. But the atmosphere here is awesome. It's a great track. They do a really good job, and the fans out here really love sidecars. And even though there's nobody in the stands tonight, we know that they're out in the parking lot watching, and we came out to support them. They came out to support us.
The track's a little bit tricky, but I mean, I haven't attacked it as much as I want to, but at the same time, I'm not really trying to risk anything and rather do it in an important race. So this Scott Semi will be probably a lot different, and I could try a little bit different things and try and work it out a little bit more.
Oh, we cut the video short. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
So you didn't like that riding. You and Rees, or you and Renton, were racing D2 that night, and then there's nobody in the stands.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a sad night. But you know what? Yeah, I was actually really cool. I actually rode sidecar that night too. I was somebody's monkey. And when
Monkey.
When we before we started the show, after they got done with the concert, we actually went out in the parking lot and we did like a detour, like a parade all through the parking lot, and that was pretty cool. You're like I'm sitting on a sidecar. Bart Bass is out there on his bike, Billy Gennaro, and everybody. It's just like I'm still up and rising, but it felt really cool. Like, wow, I'm with these guys, and I'm like showing myself off to my own town, and it feels pretty good,
So did you like being a monkey? Because that's a pretty wild job on a sidecar, being a monkey.
No, I got a kick out of it. There's this guy named Smiley. I don't remember his number, but he's pretty quick. When you're down there like that low to the ground and you know, you're looking at the ground and you're doing like 40, 50 miles an hour. You're like, whoa, you know, you're like 2 inches from the dirt. You're flying when you're that low. And it's crazy. You're holding on to dear life. And then you're going in sideways and back on the throttle. And it's insane. It's a lot of fun.
I mean, that's crazy. Especially you got a 1,000cc motorcycle pulling you around the track.
Yeah, it just wants to yank you off, but you're just holding on to dear life. A lot of fun. You got to have some honkers to hold on to that thing.
You do. Either that or you're going to die. One of the two.
Hey,
you hold on or die. It kind of reminds me when I used to go water skiing and stuff. The rope used to pull me, and I used to go, "Hold on," and the boat wanted me to pull the handles off of me. I go, "No more, hold on."
Yeah, just hold on to dear life.
You just hold on, or when I used to go fishing I used to have a strap when I went shark fishing in California, and I used to go with this guy. He had a big boat, and they used to wrap the fishing thing around you and tie it to you. And then we caught these like 600-pound sharks, and the sharks were pulling you in the ocean, and you're like, no! And the sharks pulling you, like, no!
You're all carabinered. You're like,
I mean, you're going to die. You're going to go in the ocean. No! Oh, you got to hold on for dear life. I mean, that or you're going to be dead. You're going to be shark bait.
And I'm over here struggling on a 10-pound bass.
10-pound bass, no problem.
Yeah.
But the hundreds of pounds sharks, you know, the mako sharks actually are the biggest, the fastest, the most like swiftest sharks in the ocean, and that's what we used to go for is the makos. So when they hit hard. They didn't just like be like limp.
Yeah, just
they were like, wow. It's like, oh. It was a battle of survival, you know, when you fight the mako sharks.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah. So riding a sidecar is kind of the same way. There was an old guy, he was like in his 70s, rest in peace, Hugh Randall, and he was he was a monkey on a sidecar at the Grand one year, and he was in his 70s, and he was a monkey, and he was this far from the ground, like you said, 2 inches. Yeah. And he's an old man, you know, before he passed. And I was like, oh my God, you know, if he falls, he's going to die at 70 at that speed. Oh.
Hey, at least he died smiling, right?
Yeah, he survived. Bruce Flanders, he told this story when he was on the sidecar, when Bruce Flanders was alive. He said, Hugh Randall was his name, and he was a really nice guy. Everybody remembers Hugh Randall. He's the owner of a specialized coating. Kelly Inman, you know, hired him, and he's a really nice guy. And I worked for him too when I had my business, my construction business in California. But Bruce Flanders, he said this story. He said that when Hugh Randall gets old, he's going to be in these old folks' home, and then he's going to be saying, well, like at age 80 or 90, when I was 75 years old, I was a monkey on a sidecar, you know, and all the old ladies are like, Hugh, stop it, you know, you were not monkey on a sidecar. You know?
Oh, Hugh.
You're a bragger. You didn't do that, and Hugh did that.
Oh, gosh.
So that was funny. And Lawrence offered me to be a monkey or a driver on his sidecar.
Wow, take advantage of it, man. It's so much fun.
I think I would be better driver because I'm kind of big dude, and so maybe I'm too big to be the monkey.
Oh no, it's just more weight for the rear end, you know, more hook.
Is that good to be heavy to be a monkey or bad?
I mean, you more want to be like a $150, you know. $150,
$150
around there, you know, for good weight. But, you know, it's all about distributing the weight. You know, you put the weight in the front, the ass end comes around a lot easier, and then you just dump it in the rear. And, you know, you guys are both trying to think alike. You know, it's actually multitasking. You know, you're trying to hang on for dear life, and you know, contribute late, and he's giving it throttle, and like, man, I need hookup now, and then all of a sudden, oh, there it is. You know, because you know you're working at it.
So when he's going into the turn, you want to go laying down, correct?
You want to
when
lay
he's-
forward. You want to lean.
Oh, you want to lay forward?
When you're coming down the straightaway and like you're getting ready into the turn, you lean forward. You make the rear end light, and that comes around a lot easier. And then once you kind of point the bike where you want it to go, then you just lock back, and it just hooks up and goes. And then he's up there kind of steering and giving it throttle and finding that traction spot. And then you just boom, you go. So
when you're getting ready for the turn, you want to have no weight on the rear tire and let that tire start braking.
You're rotating the bike, and that's actually braking it. And then once you kind of point and shoot, you go. You lean back, and it just points and goes. So it's teamwork.
Oh.
You guys are trying to think alike, and
that's fun. I would need practice on that. I couldn't go out and race. Maybe I would send if I was a monkey, I'd send the driver through the wall or something.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that. So you're getting a new pair of leathers or Kevlars, you said?
Kevlars, yeah. Thanks to Mike Dilkey. He's a sport. He actually hooked Retton up on his Kevlars and stuff. So got him a really good deal, really good hookup. Made him really quick and on time. And so, but I'm going through him. I've been really busy lately, so I haven't been able to get him all of the the numbers and logos. And so, but we'll see whenever they're done, they're done. I'm not worried.
Just make me one promise, Rees. Make me a promise that they're not going to, let's say, they're not going to look like this, okay? Make sure your new Kevlars look a little more stylish than the country bumpkin look.
How'd you know what they were going to look like?
Oh, that's your new leathers. I was going to ask you. I was like, please, God, don't let Rees make those leathers like the overalls.
They're all printed overalls, straps, beer hanging out the side.
A little straw hat hanging on there, and a little pumpkin for the Halloween.
Got my Copenhagen round circle in the back pocket.
Everybody would love you. You'd be the hit of the track if you had the country Kevlars.
Yeah.
So what are I know that's not true. What's your new Kevlars going to look like? Are they going to be cool?
So, they're actually really cool. I actually found them online. I was looking around at some designs and stuff, and somebody in Europe was wearing them, and I kind of like them. They're white, blue, and gold, and it's like a white suit with gold and blue like spikes, going down the side, all down the side and up through it and stuff. So it actually looks really cool. Mike Dilkey designed it. I just showed him a picture and said, hey, I want a suit exactly like this. So he came up with the design. It looks really cool, and can't wait to rock it. So
that's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
So Mike is the one that designed Retton's suit, correct?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
His
So
suit's nice.
Yeah, no, it's definitely pretty cool. But I don't want to be matching. I don't think.
No.
We should be both different. He's got his logo. I got mine.
Yeah. I don't know if you're skinny or not, but if you wear white, you want to be skinny. White is a color, and you want to be skinny if you're white. And if you're big, you want to wear black, like my Bumblebee uniform back there.
Oh, I'm chubby.
Are you chubby?
Yeah, I'm a.
Well, maybe you're gonna look fat and wearing white, because white is a uniform that is not good for bigger guys.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on my girly figure. I watch what I eat, how much I consume. I'm down to a 165. I'm kind of.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So.
Oh, you're okay.
Yeah, I definitely learned that the shorter you are and the lighter you are, you're a better speedway rider. But I'm 6 foot and normally I'm 170 plus pounds, but I'm down to 165 and 6 foot still. So it's definitely a little difficult riding a bike, because I got these big old knees, and it's just kind of like daddy long legging the bike. It's like, come on.
You just have to learn how to make it work. That's all I can say. You have to learn. I watched your brother, and he's or was it your brother? Yeah, I guess it was your brother. He's riding low and stuff. And actually, it was your brother. And then I watched Michael Wells, and Michael is 6'3". I mean, he's taller than everybody.
Yeah, no, it's
and he's little on the bike. He goes low. He really like fits himself like a ball in that bike, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Retten's shorter than I am, so he's shorter. He's got another advantage on me.
Yeah, he's a good rider, and he won that D2 main. I guess that was his last D2 main at the Paris during the New Year's Classic or whatever.
Yeah, so he actually just got back into riding. So he was out for I think 2 months, but he got in an incident and he broke his pinky. So I don't know if he talked about that or not.
Yeah, I guess his finger almost came off or something. Like it was really ripped.
So somebody stuffed him, and he came down, and his pinky got caught in the spokes, and it just like wham, it ripped it apart pretty good. So it was really fortunate. It was actually the under 21 national champion. That's the one Luke Becker won. And
he got taken away that day. Probably. Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, it was his first race too. So something happened. I think it was Gregory Moore went into the wall, and then they did a red flag, so they did a restart. And then during that restart, they did their first lap, came around, and then it happened. So.
Wow.
It happens, it's a racing.
Yeah, it's racing. I mean, it happens.
It really is. You can't be mad. I've fallen down. I've had people push me over. I mean, it's like, hey, I'm not mad. I'm fine. That's all that matters.
Right.
A bike, I can go buy other parts to fix the bike. But as long as my bones are fine, I'm all good. And Robin's racing. That's all that matters. And if I hurt you, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to help you out. I'm sorry. But. Yeah, it's a racing incident.
It is. And your brother came back the following race after a couple of months of healing, operation, healing, and he came back and he actually asked Steve Evans if he could go to D2 just to get back into it.
Yeah, and he hasn't won a trophy in a minute, so.
Yeah. Here's your brother's trophy. Let's go ahead. He doesn't win a lot of main events, so we're going to watch one.
It's time for an XSRA.TV live stream rewind.
All right, here we go. And Mark Philibrown. Wow, what a run. He starts us off here. San Diego, California. He's the 2019 Division III West Coast champion. His bike's got a Jawa frame, GM engine, long stroke. He's pushing, but Retten Todd's right on his tail right now. Retten Todd, 20 years old, from Auburn, California. He races Speedway every day on a practice track. That's why he has that edge out there, and he just takes the lead. And we got a battle for first here, but Retten Todd, now he's gained some space. Winner of the Division II main event, the $3.99 of Retten Todd.
That was pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yay, Renton, you got your first D2 trophy.
I don't know if that was his first. I think he's won quite a bit of them.
Oh, he's won a lot? Oh.
Yeah, he's won a couple of them.
He's good. Yeah.
Yeah, he just needed that, to break the edge. I got to deal with this other trophy.
And he needed to get those cobwebs off and, having that trauma from that bad crash. So he needed to kind of put that behind him. And I think winning that definitely put him. And he's a good rider. I mean, I told Renton, I said, you snuck up behind Philibrown and you just kind of the last lap, you made that clean pass on the inside, very clean. You didn't crash the guy. You snuck underneath him and you rode really nice, and you kind of you were had a little more speed than him, and then you just kind of quietly pushed him a little bit out and you won.
Yeah, that's it. You wait it out. You wait for the right opportunity, and you go for it. You know, don't try too hard. You just wait.
He did good. He was far behind at the first lap, the first turn. You couldn't even see Renton in the picture. I think this guy's gone, but not so. Not so.
Yep. But what's this from the back?
We hear a noise. There's a Rees Todd behind us coming fast. Here he comes. Move over, everybody. He has a lot of dreams, doesn't he, your brother? He wants to really achieve a lot in Speedway, right?
Yeah, no, he definitely wants to go far with it. He wants to go to Europe, hopefully, and it's the opportunity. Let's just hope that somebody out there on the other, down under, is listening and watching and say, hey, that's my guy, and they snag him,
Yeah.
But is more track time, more seat time he can get and racing, he will go far, but it's the opportunity. It's just, he's got to come across it,
Yeah.
It's like they're all of us. So the best thing we can do is
more seat time and more racing. They'll get better and better. And, you become Max Romo at the end.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And that's really cool to see Dylan Romo go over to C's right now. That's really cool. Opportunities, man. I'm hoping that it hits for me too. I mean, that would be, I'd like to do the dream team that Steve Evans is talking about and stuff. I'm all for it. I would sacrifice anything for that, anything to get overseas and just taste the waters and, try the tracks and, go against guys that race every single day. And it's like, wow, I do really suck. It's like, I need to get better. I need to get better, because that's my goal.
So you'd like the dream team to come back with Steve Evans, correct? You'd like to get the dream team going back?
Yeah, I would definitely like to see that, because I know a handful of people that did that. And, it's like, wow, I want that opportunity. Just to say, let's say I do it and I do all right. And you're like, yeah, it's just not really cut out for me. That's fine. But, if I'm actually hungry, I want to go over there and I want to do something, I definitely, but, I got to make a name over here first, I'm assuming. So, but all I can do
you can do it. It just takes a little time. It takes and races, more seat time, more development, and you can get there for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And sponsors help. So I'm actually finally getting sponsors out of all this. So
who's your sponsors?
I got a list over here. I know a bunch of people, but due to 2020, I just felt kind of just pushed back. Like, I don't want to ask for money from these guys because it's like it's 2020, the economy's weird, and I just kind of kept my budget and just used my own money. And I've been using my own money, but finally these guys they stood out, and the economy's getting better, and talked to these guys, and so they're going on my suit, my brand new suit that I'm getting made, and it's gonna look good. Anything helps, if it's a tire once a month or whatever, it's that small portion that just it adds up to. That's one less dollar I have to spend. So
it's big help, every little thing. And the riders really, everyone appreciates it so much when somebody can step in and help out, even if it's a little bit. It's still one lady, I don't want to mention her name, she says, I sponsor junior riders. And I said, oh yeah, I said yesterday, this gal, I said, what do you do for the junior riders? She says, I sponsor 2 junior riders. And I said, okay, what do you do? She says, I give them $1 each. I said, $1? Really? Oh, wow. That's great. And then she says, I sponsor Kyle. And I said, Kyle Cunningham. And I said, oh, what do you do for Kyle? She says, I give him $5 or $10. And I said, oh.
Yeah, that's gonna go far, man.
Yeah, we're gonna get the entry fee for that one, but people do what they can do, and so it's nice if you have a lot of people, giving into the sport, and even if it's a tire or anything, I mean, it all helps, it all really makes.
Yeah, it definitely does help. I'm really appreciative for some of these guys that are helping out.
Yeah,
it's all new. It's all new to me right now, so I'm not like, asking everybody like, hey, I need help now, because we're still going through, a pandemic, and it's still a little funny. But once Fast Fridays kicks off, a lot of these guys I'm going to start picking on them and asking them, hey, I need a tire, or I need some fuel, or I need some chains, because they're more of the locals,
Right.
Because I'm not racing in my hometown. I'm racing down south. So I don't want to milk them too much and be like, well, my business isn't down there. It's up here. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Well,
But just doing whatever I can.
that's good. Yeah, May 27th, Fast Fridays is scheduled around that time. So you're going to get all those good local people there, supportive, all those really – you have a lot of – I told Dave yesterday when we talked to Dave Joyner that, you guys have these like really nice – like everyone's supportive, the community. You have this like down cook, southern cooking, northern cooking. You have all these like people joining together in the like community, and they're helping the Speedway, and they're really involved. And it's like a really close knit. Even maybe some people don't know each other, but it feels like a close knit community. People. It's nice.
Yeah, the minute I walk into the racetrack, like Fast Fridays, like you walk into the pits and everything, and like at first it was like trying to like learn the territory and learn everybody, who's who. But yeah, definitely when you walk in there now, it's like these are my family. Like, hey, are you okay? Like, no, my handlebars are broke. Well, here, take mine. It's like, you want to help anybody you can, and it's just like I need foot pegs, I need tires, I need rims. It's just like what's mine is yours. It's like let's just get out there, get on the track, and let's help one another. And like most of the times, like somebody pulls a bike up, it's like, well, here, just take my bike. It's like right now, it's like I don't care. Like you need to race this race, and it's gonna mean a lot to you, but it doesn't matter. It's just a bike. Wear it out like it's supposed to be.
Yeah, you're supposed to ride a bike.
Yeah, you're supposed to ride a bike, not just stare at it, look at it in your living room.
Exactly.
Unless you're Bruce Penhall, then yeah, you want a nice bike looking in the living room. Yeah.
I think Bruce Penhall had like 10 bikes when he was racing. He had like a string of bikes.
Oh yeah. I've never ran that one yet, have I?
He said he had a string of bikes and a string of Kevlar or leathers at the time, and so he had suit 1 through 10 or whatever. He could get a few dirty and then have his guys wash them and still have a whole bunch of new suits ready for him.
Man,
that's
cool.
that
was pretty cool when I first went over to. I've only been to Bill Cody's one time. I bought some parts down there so I can build an engine, and I checked out his shop, and he's got a really cool shop down there, and he was putting together that Westlake for Bruce Penhall, and just looking at all these just shiny parts and everything, and the bike's never going to run, but it's like it's beautiful. It's like wow, the Trackstar bikes. It's like.
Yeah, that was a duplicate bike of Bruce Penhall's either 81 or 82 World Championship. And Bruce Penhall was on the show this past month, and he was really impressed about how good Cody came to duplicating the original bike of his World Championship. Yeah, so, Cody, they do really great work over there.
Yeah, beautiful bike. And then Bill's got his son working over there, and he's doing some pretty good work too. So I definitely had a lot of questions and a lot of good answers, from them. And so that kind of helped me out building my engines, and definitely I definitely want to take off and build an engine and stuff like that. If anybody needs work up north here, I'm the guy.
It's good to know. Yeah. Did you see Bill Cody when you were down there, or did you see Bobby?
Yeah.
Son?
No,
Bill.
He was real cool. Yeah, he was a real cool, laid back, like real chill guy and stuff. So it's definitely really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know where, but speaking of Bill Cody, my dad, Mike Todd, he was showing me some pictures of some race programs, and it shows Bill Cody when Bill Cody was back racing back in the day, and it actually shows my grandpa in there.
Really?
So, yeah, it was actually pretty cool. It's like, wow, my grandpa was racing against Bill Cody back in the day. So Bill Todd was his name. So it's kind of cool that, it's like, wow, my family's really been in speedway racing, any kind of racing thing, and I think that's where I got my genes, and I gotta keep the family tradition going. You know.
That's not the same guy that was the boat racer, was he? The boat racer?
The boat racer.
And he died, right? He died racing boats?
Yep, 86 is when he died.
He died in 86? So what year did he race Bill Cody at? Like 72 or something?
Probably the 70s and stuff. So I don't know too much. I try to absorb as much information as I can about my grandpa. You know, I mean, it's the past, but it's my history, and it's pretty cool to learn. So
he was a speed demon. He was riding those boats really like hundreds of miles an hour.
Yeah. So he actually broke the world record in 1985 in top fuel hydro, doing 226 on the water in a quarter mile strip.
246?
No, 226.
What was that?
226 miles an hour. That's before they had the capsules. So he was just sitting in a bucket seat with a steering wheel, you know, with a big old V8 engine with the blowers in the back running on, you know, hydro fuel or whatever. And it's like, wow, you know, you can just imagine your eyeballs rolling out of your sockets.
226 miles an hour on the water on a boat. Holy smokes.
Yeah,
and then the old days, it was not really like designed like maybe today. So you really probably got the wind hitting you really bad, right?
Yeah, no, you got the wind because he didn't have the capsule like the new boats have.
Right.
You know, they have the capsule that blows out. He didn't have that. He's sitting on a bucket seat, you know, just an old lawnmower chair and a racing steering wheel. Here we go, boys.
I like your grandpa. I like him.
Yeah.
Oh.
My dad brings it up sometimes. He says I'm just like him, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But hey, I'm just here to have fun and go as fast as I can.
Oh my gosh. Well, we have a few people commenting here. Let's see. I guess your older sister is there. What's your older sister's name? Do you have an older?
Michael? Is it Michael?
Yeah.
Oh. Boy.
Yeah. And I guess she's there watching the show, so you want to give a shout out.
Hey, Michael. Tell the kids to say hi.
And then we have the two-time United States Speedway champion, Aaron Fox.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
He asked, is that Hot Rod Rees from Tennessee? Are you Hot Rod?
I'm Hot Rod Rees. Hot Rod Rees, or what Harlan Bass calls me. He calls me Riesel the Diesel. I got a handful of nicknames. I don't know what to call me yet. Bryce Starks calls me Reese Bobby from Talladega Nights. Yeah. And then a lot of people call me Greasy Reese, Pinky Reese. You know, it goes on and on.
Oh, very good.
What I want to call myself.
Oh, and the Speedway super fan, Kayla, she has a question for you, but I don't know what it is.
Oh, question, huh?
Yeah, she's probably going to ask him. Yeah. Do you remember Davey Shaw, Larry Shaw's son? He lives up in Northern California now, and Davey was a Speedway rider, number 145. And Davey came to visit me one time, and I was talking to Davey, and I said, yeah, Kayla always tells me she likes me and stuff. And then Davey says, oh, shut up. She likes all the Speedway riders the same. You're not special. She likes everybody.
You think you're the only one?
I'm like, oh, Kayla likes me. And she goes, oh, you're stupid, you know. Oh, she loves every Speedway rider. It don't matter. So she's the super fan. And
she is. She definitely is. When we were when we did the Gumball Rally, me and Retton walked down there, and Kayla actually made sign posters for me and Retton. And there's a picture of it somewhere. I don't know where it's at. I'd have to dig around, but it's pretty cool. Like we were walking down when they were doing the full interview on TV. That was actually my first time on TV when I was like racing, and I'm like, this is cool. Like we're on TV. Like this is new. Cool. Like I didn't realize we were gonna make it this big.
Yeah, you're a D1 rider now, so you're getting big time, dude.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I gotta keep my lines straight, you know.
Yeah. And stay on the bike. you don't want to crash. This is Paris, and I guess you're high sighting. So remember that D1 riders, they have to stay on two wheels. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was actually that one you're probably going to show. I was actually avoiding running into my brother. I was like scrubbing speed. I like had my wheel turned all the way to the left, like both wheels like digging into the ground, like crap. You know, I'm still learning. I was like trying different gearing ratios and stuff like that, and just putting the formulas together and trying to figure out like what's the right gearing and, you know, different engines. Jawas are different than GMs, and so.
Oh,
but yeah, that video you're gonna show, I was scrubbing speed because I didn't want to run into my brother.
So your brother was slower, and you're going a little fast into him. Is that what happened?
Yeah, no, just my gearing was just so fast. It was like hooking up down the straightaway. It was insane. And then I came into the turn, like, oh crap, time to slow down. And I'm like getting closer and closer and closer, and then like really scrubbed it, and then I high sided. So it happened.
The thing is, don't worry about that, Rees, because what happens is that, you know, like next time you're in that situation, you'll have learned, you know, like maybe to back off a little bit or to change so that you're not going to do the same thing. You won't repeat the same mistakes or the situations. It may not be a mistake, but the same situation, you'll know how to handle it better having experienced that. You know, it's going to help you.
No, that's the cool part is like I'm zigzagging. I'm checking out all these different ways and, you know, to ride the bike and stuff like that. I'm taking everything that you know, it's like, I didn't learn here, but I learned because I did it wrong. So now I know what not to do. And then I check this out and check this out. And, you know, I definitely I'm gathering all this information and knowledge and stuff like that. And then when I see, like, let's say, like a new upcoming speedway rider, you know, it's just like, hey, I want to coach you because I see what you're going to do. And I don't want you to make these same mistakes that I made, you know, and I can, you know, I feel like I can coach people and teach people, you know, what not to do, you know, because I've already done it.
Exactly, because we make all these mistakes and we know that they're not right.
Oh yeah, and definitely, you know, like when I first started riding, I didn't have somebody really sitting by my side and saying, hey, this is what you need to do. You know, you need to do this. Don't do this because this is what it's going to do. If you want to experience, go experience. But you know what? Like I didn't really have that mentor. You know, I'm just still like learning who is who and stuff like that. But I definitely, you know, feel like if I see somebody, I want to help them out. I want to educate them, and I want to see them beat me one day, you know.
Exactly.
And you know, because what's the point in, you know, racing if you don't have competition? So
yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
No, it's nice to have competition. It's nice to beat people too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We like to win. We hate to lose. We like to win.
I like to win, but I like to earn the win, you know.
Yeah.
Just won another D2 event.
Exactly. Well, this is Rees on his high side trying to avoid his slow brother Renton, the guy who's like very slow. We got to get Renton some training wheels, I think.
Yeah, it's okay, Renton. You'll get better one day.
It's okay, Renton. Nobody's perfect, right?
Whoops!
I think you're gonna run Renton over when you were like you just totally like did the like, you know, back off, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna run Renton over, so I better, you know.
Yeah, I've only bumped into I think one person, but yeah, it didn't end well. You know, it was by accident because they were going slow. But you know, I gotta say, it was actually really cool that night when we were down at Paris. That was I think 2 weekends ago. It was actually really cool because Mark Philbrown was in one of those races, and I was on gate 4, and I had to go around everybody. And Mark Philbrown, I didn't get a good gate. Mark Philbrown was actually drifting out as I was like going around everybody and stuff. And you know, it was like crap, like Mark sliding into me, and it was really cool because like I knew he was gonna hit me, so I like leaned off my bike and I let him hit me. You know, like he bumped into me. It was like boom. And it was like, whoa, that was cool. He hit me, and I'm still sliding and going. And then boom, he hit me again, and I'm like, wow, that was cool twice. And I just hooked up and took off down the straight. You know, but it was like, wow, I've never been hit before. That was really cool. So
and you didn't fall. You didn't fall, right? That's the main thing.
No,
you just stayed on. That's great.
Yeah, I leaned off my bike and I let him bump into me, and I'm like, that was really cool. You know, it was like boom, and it like completely set me off. But like I was still on the bike, and I prepared for the hit. So it was like, wow, you really can rub in while you're racing. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be prepared for you have to be like physically like ready for that hit when that happens. And then I think it's easier to hold on. But if you're not prepared, you'll go down.
It's totally unexpected for it. Yeah, that's why you got to keep an eye on your awareness and who you're riding with. You know, it's definitely, it's pretty cool. You know, just the things that I'm still learning. You know, I'm trying to absorb every single piece of information that I can. And it's just like, it's common sense, but like until you go through the situation, you really don't know.
Exactly. So did you beat Mark that race, or he beat you?
Yeah, I beat him. I was actually that was the team races. So actually, after he bumped into me twice, that was in turn 2 after the gate. Turn 3, he actually fell down and laid the bike down, and I think Retton went to avoid him when he was falling down, and he went over the pole. And so that was before a red flag. So it actually, now that I remember, we got a red flag and we had to restart the race. So we did the restart, and then I came in first, but Retton got excluded because he went 2 wheels off the pole. So it happens. You know, Retton's trying to avoid an accident and, you know, don't want to hurt anybody. But
yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, he's a good rider. And I think when you get in a crash or when people are hitting you, it's just like I say, it helps to be prepared, you know, for it. And I remember a story that when I was getting back into Speedway, there's a little guy. His name is Eloy Medine. I don't know if you heard of him. He's an older rider. He's good though. Eloy won a lot of track championships. He's a really solid rider. You know, he's been riding for like ever. And I kind of started getting back into it, and I'm a little bigger than Eloy. Eloy is kind of a little guy, but he's good. He's fast. And I was in I think a main event, and I wasn't prepared for the crash, for him hitting me. I was thinking nobody's going to touch me, and he did. He came into me and he hit me hard, and I was not ready for it. And I kind of like, oh, and I kind of like lost control of my bike, and then my chain, I think, fell off or something. I mean, he hit me hard and everything went bad. And I was like, dang, I was kind of pissed off at me because, not Eloy, because, I was kind of unprepared for the hit, I was sleeping, I was sleeping. And then Eloy said to himself, like, Brian's really easy. Like, I can just hit Brian and, I can win a main event. So I got kind of mad at myself, really. And Eloy did, he did a good job. And, I have no hard feelings for him. But I got mad at myself more than anybody. And so I said to myself, if that guy ever touches me again, I swear I'm going to just stay strong, and he's going to go down. Like, I'm bigger than him, and I'm not going to let that little guy push me around. So
you're gonna hold your hand out and pull them back.
I'm gonna hold my hand out and like, stay back.
Yeah. Come here.
So I have a video of actually a few times. Once, actually, only one time maybe. I was in a main event, and he was a little bit faster than me, to be honest with you, and he was coming underneath me in second place, and he was riding really hard, and he was saying to himself, I can knock that guy down. Like I did it before, and I'm going to do it again. And I thought to myself, he's behind me, and stay strong. Stay strong on the bike. Don't be a wimp. Stay strong.
Yeah.
And he hit me really hard. I mean, he made my bike go another 3 feet. Almost off the track. He hit me. Wow. He knocked me. But I stayed on the bike, and then he crashed. And then that was the last time he ever did that to me. And I said, I will never let somebody crash me, like that, where I ride weak, So when you're riding, you have to ride strong and be really ready for anything.
You start walking over the chest. Yeah, what now, man? Huh?
Yeah.
What you got?
Try that again, dude, and we'll see who hits the ground next time. Well, he never did that again. I welcomed him to hit me again. I mean, anytime, anywhere. And my bird's laughing, I think. Because you will fall and I will not fall. Because the first time I rode really weak, like I admit it, like I was kind of like really bad, like my thinking. So, from this bad experience, never again,
yeah, not gonna let that happen again.
So, like you said, when you crash and stuff, you learn like, oh, I won't do that again. My mistakes, they kind of like, they haunt you as far as, but what you do is you don't feel bad about them. You just learn, and then next time, no more.
Racing incidents, they happen all the time. And I kind of like what you said. Yet you were sleeping, and it's like, that's so true. Like when you're learning on the bike, and these situations and stuff come up and occur on you. I mean, that's what I feel like. I'm like, man, like why didn't I just do this? Like you wish you had somebody sitting by your side telling you, why didn't you just go around the guy, or why didn't you just stick your nose in there? It's just like, I'm sleeping. I like that. It's like you're learning.
I was sleeping. I literally wasn't thinking. I was just riding like, oh, nobody's gonna touch me. But they did. They hit me hard, and he hit me hard. It knocked my hands off the handlebars. I was like, oh, and I was not prepared.
Yeah, a million things can happen out there in 4 laps, and it's just like you're not gonna learn unless it happens. And,
right.
That's a good way to say it. You're sleeping.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to wake up, because there's a lot of things that I'm learning, and I can't wait to get out there and kick some butt.
You just, it's okay to have these situations and problems, and it's okay. It's just you have to learn from them. And I remember one of my first rides in D1 when I was a 17-year-old kid. And I have this video. In fact, I have the video right here on DVD. And it was a handicap race at Costa Mesa, and I had all the fast guys. And I don't want to show it because it's kind of embarrassing. I don't have it ready.
We all want to see it.
I'll prepare it for next time.
Or VHS.
I don't have it ready right now, but I can get it ready easy. And I can show it maybe on another show. Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah. I don't mind seeing my crashes, Let's see yours.
My crashes are better than yours, though. I crash better than you.
Yeah, you get to see broken bones.
Yeah, I didn't have any. But I had this wild crash. I was in first place a handicap race in the first lap or two. And I was actually going pretty fast because, I was faster when I was young. And I was doing really well, but suddenly I just by myself, I did like a spin out and I crashed. And it looked really funny because nobody touched me. I mean, it was totally my mistake. It's my fault. I mean, nobody did anything but me, 100%. And after I crashed, I remember saying to myself, what did you just do, Brian? That's very stupid. You're winning a handicap race. I don't know if it was a main or not, but I think it was a race. But you just fell down all by yourself. Nobody even touched you. I did it like a spin out, and it was fast. I was going really fast, and and I have the video. I watched it, and then and then the photographer, it was an old Super 8 movie. The next race, I said to myself, Brian, focus, don't be stupid, really focus every turn, focus, laser focus. And I went out and I just burned the whole field. I mean, I rode so perfect. I show that race all the time, actually. I don't show my crash very much. But the crash taught me it helped me. That crash it really made me focus more about being a racer and not do that stupid mistake again.
Yeah.
So all of our mistakes, they kind of help us do better,
Oh yeah,
Does anyone want any spaghetti? I have some spaghetti if anyone wants some food. It has Parmesan cheese on it. You what do you have, Ren? You have Jim Boys.
Jim Boys.
What do you have? A hot dog or something?
No, Jim Boy's Tacos.
Oh, it's a taco. I love tacos.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
my
have you ever
gosh.
had Jim Boy's Tacos?
I never had one. Are they good?
Oh man, you are missing out. You are missing out. It's better than those SpaghettiOs you got going.
Yeah, I wish I had Jim Boys actually. Better than the tacos. I mean, better than the spaghetti.
Yeah.
I love tacos. I love Mexican food, and I make Mexican food all the time. Like I make tacos because we don't have tacos where I live, so I thank you. I have to make them.
Where you live at?
I'm in Boracay Island in the Philippines, so I'm actually sort of retired, living in the Philippines right now.
Oh, wow.
It's like the #2 best beach in the world, so it's nice.
Huh. Oh, you're just living up the life, huh?
Yeah, I'm just on the beach drinking coconut juice every day and after the show, because it's morning when I do the shows here. It's only like 11 o'clock. It's almost noon here. So usually when I finish the shows, I go motorcycle riding, and then I go to the beach.
Oh, wow. So you probably already got your surfing already in this morning then?
Yeah, I made a video of typhoon surfing on my YouTube channel. If you want to go see, I just made it like a day or two ago. And when the typhoons come, the waves get really crazy as far as the power. It just wants to kill you and bring you out in the ocean. I'm like, it's time to go surfing. I like that one.
Yeah.
So we go have some fun in the ocean. Nobody's in there but me, because usually speedway riders are the crazy guys. You know, they're the guys that do stupid stuff. So
yeah, I haven't surfed yet. That's something on my bucket list. You know.
Nice.
Maybe I'll have to take a trip out to you, man.
Yeah, come on out. Yeah, they have surfing. It's not really the best waves, and then I do boogie boarding a lot. My video is actually boogie boarding. It's fun.
Yeah, boogie boarding's a lot of fun. That's all I've ever done. You know, when I first started doing it, it was kind of fun. It was funny. I was like learning how to do it, but my legs, I'd keep my legs straight, and they'd be in the waves. So then all of a sudden I'd pearl, and my nose would dive, and I would just go back into the sand, or sometimes face into the sand. You know, because the water gets really shallow when the waves come out. Yeah, and I would just boom eat sand, and I'm like, why do I keep doing this? You know, and then
you got to stay back on the board. You got to stay back so you don't go over.
Well, you stay back on the board, but you bend your knees. You keep your legs up. I wasn't doing that. I had my legs back all the way, and I just I'd fall forward and I'd eat sand. I'm like, what? How do they do it?
Oh, exactly.
Learning curve. You got to crash in order to learn.
Yeah, I do lots of water sports. I scuba dive, and I do all kinds of stuff. I scuba dive, and I do lots of like snorkeling. I do a lot of blogging on the beach, and I just do all this stuff. We do a lot of jet skiing, and I do a lot of boating and stuff like that. It's fun.
Jet skiing's pretty cool. I just got a stand-up ski not too long ago, and I've been learning how to ride that. And I got my dives down pretty good. You know, it's where you hop across the water, and then you do a nose dive, and you go down in submarine, and you come back up. That was
nice.
Cool. Yeah, I got that down. You know,
those are fun. Those stand-up skis where you can stand up and you can do tricks and stuff. That's really a lot of fun.
I can't do flips. Apparently, I've seen guys do flips, and it's amazing. You know, they'll be standing there bouncing around, flip, and you're like, what? Like,
that's fun. Yeah. That's fun. I have a story about a stand-up ski when I was a young rider. Alex, I was a speedway rider, and my bird likes rice. See that? She's eating rice.
Yeah. Oh, is that rice?
Yeah, she's an Asian bird, so all Asian people like rice, right? The Chinese people have slanted eyes because when they eat lots of rice, they like, oh no, rice again. So their eyes get kind of slanted.
Yeah.
Like mine, like my eyes, little eyes.
It's kind of funny when Asians try to make fun of white men. You know, they'd be like, oh yeah, we like chicken and steaks.
Big eyes.
Yeah.
Big eyes. Not all Asian has small eyes though. There's Asians with big eyes. Big eyes. Yeah, some have bigger eyes and some have smaller too. But yeah, my bird's dropping food all over me. But yeah, one time I was jet skiing in the middle of the ocean and with a stand-up ski. My last time I ever rode a stand-up ski ever. I was a D1 rider when I was like 17 years old, and I was at my girlfriend's house, and the neighbor who was my age, he was studying to be a Catholic priest in the Catholic, school. But he was a nice guy, I thought, and he said to me, "Hey, Brian, you have your Speedway van for your motorcycles, and I have these stand-up jet skis. So I have 2 of them. So how about if we take these jet skis, we put them in your van for your Speedway bikes, and then we go out to Newport Beach, and we go hit out, in the ocean. We do some jet skiing on the stand-ups." And I'm like, "Dude, let's do it. That sounds cool." So actually, he worked for Kawasaki, the motorcycle dealer.
Yeah.
They used to have a main plant in Costa Mesa, California. And he actually he worked there while he was studying to be a priest. And so they were from Kawasaki, the Kawasaki dealership, the plant where the Kawasaki's are distributed from. And so I said they must be good, right? Because they're from Kawasaki. And so we put them in my van. We drove down to the Newport Beach. We launched them. We went out in the ocean, and I'm driving. I'm really far out in the middle of the ocean. I'm really, really far. And then we're having fun, doing jumps and stuff on the jet skis. Yeah. I was only 17 years old, so I was kind of a young punk kid. And you know how we are when we're 17. We're like, crazy. And I was, riding Speedway at the time, so I was pretty, confident in myself. So I'm riding the jet ski, and all of a sudden the jet ski is like, oh no, what happened? And then the jet ski was in the water. We were like 5 miles out in the ocean. We were like going towards Catalina Island or something. And the jet ski started sinking like this into the water. And I'm like, no way. And I'm holding on. I'm like to the guy, come here, my jet ski's sinking. No. And then it starts sinking about 5 miles in the middle of the ocean where the sharks were and stuff. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, I had a life jacket on. And I said to the guy, come here, this jet ski's sinking, help me. And he goes, no, I don't want to get bit by sharks. Only you get bit by sharks.
Survival the fist.
Yeah, the Catholic priest told me you die because I have some preaching to do. Yeah, Speedway riders can be replaced, but not Catholic priests. And so I'm sitting there, and then the jet ski completely went under the water. I'm holding the jet ski handle, and it's completely straight up and down in the ocean, way out in the ocean, like 5 miles. And I'm holding it going, no way. And I'm sitting there, and I go, dude, what do you want me to do? Drop the jet ski? Because it was sinking. And he's like, no, it's Kawasaki's. Kawasaki they'll make me pay for it. So I'm like freaking out. I'm holding this jet ski, even though, in the water it's lighter, but still it was like heavy. And I'm holding this jet ski completely underwater, and I'm holding this thing. And then I didn't know what to do. And then I saw this helicopter fly by. It was a Newport Beach lifeguard. And I hold the jet ski, and I'm like, hey, over here, help! I'm in the ocean, right? I'm like in the ocean. I'm not on the jet ski. So, anyways, a couple of minutes later, the rescue boat came out. The lifeguard rescue boat came out. And then they dove in, and they put a rope around the handle of the jet ski. And I jumped in the boat, and we went back to the lifeguard station. Wow. And so that was my last time I ever rode a stand-up.
Lucky.
And then I found out that the water pump went bad, and somehow that's what sunk the boat. All the water was coming in. The pump wasn't pumping the water out. It was just sucking it in, and then the weight of the water, it really sunk it. I never heard of a jet ski sinking. Yeah, a fuel pump.
The bilge pump.
The bilge pump went bad?
Bilge pump went bad, so it started filling up, and then it just sank itself.
Yeah. That's exactly what. I had no idea what it was, and I was like, how did a jet ski sink, I guess it was the bilge pump.
Yeah, no, that's scary.
Oh, that was scary. I never went out in the ocean like that again. Like with a. I never did that. I learned my lesson. Again, I learned my lesson. But yeah, I mean, so we're having fun here in the Hive. And so, what is your future goals as far as the Speedway, Rees?
Well, you know, I want to go as far as I can with it. You know, I'm definitely never going to leave the sport. Oh, you still there? Oh boy, it says live. Am I the only?
I'm just eating. Go ahead.
Now, are you my spectator or what?
I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to eat. It's not nice to eat with your mouth open, so I'm going to let you talk.
Oh, okay.
So what's your future goals, Rees?
It's my show. Oh boy, this is my own show. Just what I've always wanted. So, just to let everybody know, I guess, my future goals in Speedway is to go as far as I can. You know, my plan is to help as many people as I can out, you know, drag you along. I'm actually working on a spare bike right now. I'm putting together, you know, I got a bunch of friends that ask, you know, hey, you know, I want to get on a bike. And, you know, it's like, well, I can't put you on my personal race bike because if I do and you fall down, you bend the frame or whatever, you know, then I might have issues with it, you know. So I'm actually working on a spare bike and I'm going to set it up to where you can get on, you know, you can ride and, you know, I'll hook you up on a practice day over at John Schroeder's and stuff. And, you know, give you some practice time and stuff like that, you know, just so that you can get a feeling because people talk, you know, like I used to, and I say, yeah, Speedway is easy, but until you actually get on the bike and you start riding, it's a totally different animal. You know, you have to be so committed to hold that throttle wide open going into the turn. You know, normally think, oh, I got to lift. You lift, it's a bad idea. You know, it just wants to hook up. It wants to send you out. And, you know, it's a different animal. So, but the sooner I can get this bike put together and I can start bringing some of my friends on and they can start telling their people and stuff like that, until we can, like, you know, I want to find those people, you know, that have that aggression of, I want to get on a Speedway bike. I want to go far. And, you know, those are the people that I want to help, you know, the people that can't really afford it, you know, because I couldn't afford it. But now that I'm budgeting it in my life, you know, it's working out. But, you know, that's kind of a goal. But mainly, I want to get out there. I want to do the best I can. I want to beat as many as I can. If I don't, it's whatever. You know, I'm out here to have fun. You know, I want to have a smile on my face. I want to make sure everybody else has a smile on their face. And if I go to Europe, that's pretty cool. You know, I don't want to be rewarded for it or nothing. You know, I want to have fun. That's it. You know, can go far and drag as many people as I can with me.
That is cool. That is cool. You know, Speedway is really easy sport when you're sitting in the stands watching it. But when you get on a bike, and you have to go riding, it's a different.
Oh, yeah. You're like, okay, now I'm in the situation. Wait, full throttle? Like what? Dump the clutch? What?
No.
You know? You start freaking out, you know. You know, then you want to lift. Well, you lift, the bike hook up and it goes into the wall. You're like, what? This makes no sense. That's right. You got to hold the throttle on. You got to have a set of balls in order to hold that throttle on. So it's pretty cool, you know. And you can see the people like Retton, for instance. Retton picked it up quick, you know, because he's got the honkers. You know, he's like, I got to send it. You know, it just takes that seat time, and then eventually, you know, he'll go far. You know, but then, you know, I've had some friends get on our bikes, and it's like, dude, you're crashing my bike way too many times. Like, you're done. Like, you're done. I can't afford you wrecking it because you can't afford it, you know. So, but I definitely want to build a bike, and I'm working on one right now. And, you know, I'm kind of putting some pieces together. And I got an engine I can put together and build. And it won't be a D1 motor. It'll be just, it's just a freshen up, you know, put together. And they can go out there and they can just run it up and, you know, play around and have fun, you know, and you do all right.
The Jawas are pretty dependable. They run forever. So
they definitely do.
You know, they run forever.
Keep everything clean and, you know, and they don't rev it out that high, you know. Us D1 riders, when I first started riding, I kept thinking like, man, I don't want to rev this motor because I don't want to blow it up, you know. So I always kept the low RPMs. But the minute I started getting to D2, I'm like, wow, I really got to start hammering on it. Now I'm in D1, I'm like, wow, I am revving the piss out of this motor. Like that's the only way to ride it. Like, this is it.
You can't ride a speedway bike like quarter throttle. It has to be like open.
It's wide open throttle, you know. And then you get into the turn, you just back it off and back on it. You know, you're like, wow, like that's insane.
It's fun though. It's fun, right?
It's so much fun. It's fun when you feel that bike just wanting to be yanked out underneath you. And you're like, wow, this is a lot of power. You know, this is way too much. Like, how do you handle this? You know? Yeah.
We have a rider. I don't know if you heard him. I think he's a good rider. His name is Max Romo. I'm not sure if you remember the name or not.
No, he's not
Max,
that good of a rider.
I think he's a D3 rider, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, super slow. He ain't that
slow. He's got to come on the show so we can teach him how to ride a speedway.
Yeah, no, definitely. We should get like riding school 101. You know, and, get the clipboard, the glasses, and the nerd outfit and everything. You know, we got to teach.
He'll learn how to ride one day, I think.
One day, definitely one day.
He's a fairly decent rider, but he's got potential. Let's say that.
His brother's really good, but Max, he's a wannabe.
Yeah, his brother is definitely. I made a mistake. I told Max, I said, "You're better than your brother," and he said, "Oh no, my brother's really good. Don't say that." And he gave you a shout out on the web here. He said, "My boy Rees, let's go."
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he gave you a shout out. He likes you.
Yeah, no,
we should honor that guy and show him. Do you want to honor Max? He's a good guy.
Oh yeah, no, Max Romo, man. No, what?
We love Max Romo, and he's a future AMA #1 rider, no doubt. No doubt that guy is gonna win. And we're gonna show this. It was called like the Last Bandit Out or something like that, and it's a tribute to the Bakersfield Bandits, the Speedway team in '76. They were the champions of the National Speedway League. They were good, and they raced not on that track. They were good, and I raced there during that time, and these guys were good. I wasn't on the team, but I raced in handicap at that time, and it was good. And this was the race that the future champion Max Romo raced, and he won that one. It was the last man out, or the last bandit out, I guess.
Play it.
It's time for an XSRA.TV live stream rewind.
How's it feeling out there, Max?
Good. Great track. It's running fast. So see how this last man out goes and go from there. Yeah, thank you. Running good.
All right, that was Max Rummel, feeling confident as he made his way out to the last man standing match race. Steve Evans has a way of making speedway events a little more interesting. He organized the Last Man Out Challenge to recognize the return of speedway racing to Bakersfield and to honor the Bakersfield Bandits speedway team from the 1970s. The event was a 2-lap heat elimination match with a final 4-lap match between the 2 remaining racers, consisting of 4 racers that included Billy Gennaro, Max Rummel, Dylan Rummel, and Brock Nickel. Let's see how it happened at the dirt track at Kern County Raceway Park. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and give us some likes, and be sure to watch all the Extreme Speedway racing action on XSRA.TV.
But they have brand new, first time ever worn, Bakersfield Bandit racing bibs. This is a Bandit Last Man Out Challenge. They're going to do 4 laps. Last man at the end will go out. They'll do another round of laps. Last man who comes in last will go out, and so on and so forth. So we got 1 winner. So here we go. Starting us off. Gennaro leading the battle right now. Brock Nichols running in second. Whoa, no, they're all banging up here. Nobody wants to be last. And right now, that's all that's going to matter in this race. It's anyone's race right now. Oh, they're going to do 2 laps. They changed it up, so they're going to do 2 laps. It'll be Mad Max Rummel on the inside, Dylan Rummel in the middle, and Gennaro on the outside. Here we go. 2 more laps to go. Find out who will be the next man out. And one lap clear with Mad Max Rummel in the lead and Dylan Rummel in the second spot. So we'll see what happens here. Gennaro pushing hard on the inside, but Dylan's blocking him to do it. And there you go. Gennaro is now out. Now Gennaro's out. Now it's just leaving the Rummel brothers to find out who will be the Bakersfield Bandit last man out winner. So Gennaro now officially goes back into his pit area. And here we go, back 2-time AMA National Best Pairs Championships brothers. Now they're gonna battle it out head to head to find out who will be the Bakersfield Bandit last man out. Will it be the Pickle or will it be Mad Max? Here we go. Yeah, it looks like Mad Max is going to battle it, so they're going to do 4 laps here. I got it backwards tonight, whatever. Can't be perfect. So they'll do a 4-lap main event here. And Mad Max Rummel way out in front of the Pickle as the white flag comes out. And there you go, the beginning of the Bakersfield Bandits' reign of terror is won by Mad Max Rummel.
I think he has a future in Speedway. Do you?
Man, that guy, I swear. I swear. What was pretty cool was my first race that I did out there at Bakersfield over the weekend was with Max Rummel. There was Mike Miller and somebody else. I think it was Daniel Faria. And I came in second. But, like, I'm watching Max Rummel on the outside of me, and I'm like, man, like, I think I can get this guy. I think I can get this guy. You know, it's like, man, Max is flying. And, like, I'm trying to do the best I can. My gearing wasn't right. You know, I'm still trying to figure out the bike and what the actual full-on setup is. And, so, you know, I'm still going through the learning curves, but it's like, it's so cool to see, like, that's Max Rummel right there, and I'm trying to catch up to this guy and try to do something with him, you know. And you know, I have a dream that, you know, the Rummel brothers, they're great, right? But give it a few more years and you'll see the Todd brothers, and you know, let's see what comes out of that.
Yeah, maybe you and Renton will be in that bandit race in a couple years.
Yeah, maybe we'll be in their shoes, you know. It's I mean, you know, everybody gets old, but it's sad to see Billy Gennaro, you know, getting a little bit slower and tighter in his suit, you know.
It happens to all of us. Don't worry about it. It's part of Speedway for sure. And
it's part of life.
Maybe we'll see the Todd brothers versus the Rummel brothers in the 4-man race one day.
Yeah, we just did that at Paris. We did the Todds versus the Rummels, and it was good, but that was the video that I high-sided and I fell over. So yeah, it was cool, but you know, maybe another day, you know.
So you got second place behind Max that one race you're telling?
On my first race at Bakersfield, yeah. On the first heat that I did.
Dang.
I think that was heat 3 or heat 4. I think it was heat 4.
Well, that's something to brag about.
Yeah, I don't do too much bragging.
That's something to brag about.
Yeah, it's just Max Rummel. I gave it.
Oh, you got second place behind that slow guy Max.
Yeah,
oh, that's
I
nothing.
gave it to him. You know, I didn't want to take his points.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that is cool.
It feels good. You know, it definitely
Yeah.
feels good.
Well, I say you had a good ride if you were behind that guy.
Yeah, no, I had a great weekend all along, all the heats and everything, and just watching and learning, and I definitely learned a lot. And the next time I'm going to go out there with a better attitude, more confidence, more knowledge going into the bike, and there's so many different setups you can do, and and it depends on how you're riding it and stuff. So I'm still learning. I'm trying. There's a science on a speedway bike, and you really have to get it dialed, and you can't just learn it overnight. Somebody could set you up a bike and say, "Here, ride it," and you don't know what it's going to do.
Yeah.
But
you have to have that time.
You have to have time in the seat.
You're riding sensational for your your time on the bike and being new. Everyone's new at Bakersfield this week, and everyone's going through that learning curve, together, kind of, except for a few guys. But most everyone's learning. They're gearing, everything, from beginning.
Yeah, no, it's definitely it's a full learning curve, because you'll ask one person and he'll be like, "Oh, well, this is what you should be running." Then you ask another person and they're like, "Oh no, this is what you should be running." It's like, dude, you're 10 teeth off. Like, what's the answer?
Yeah.
It's all about the rider and how he rides.
The answer is every rider is unique, and every rider's weight is different. Their size is different. Their style of riding is different. Yeah. Everything is different. So you have to find what's right for you.
Yeah. I'm still curious, like how Austin the Throttle, how he kicks a leg off, right? Yeah. He leans off the bike and he kicks a leg off. You're like, how are you doing that? I can't even do that. Like I have to have my foot sitting on the peg. Like I can't do that. How do you do that, bud?
It's called having a lot of seat time and having good balance. You can ride that bike with good balance. And Austin is really an unbelievable talent. As far as natural talent, I mean, he's one of the best naturally gifted riders. I mean, he can ride he can just ride in his dreams. He's so good.
It's amazing. You're like, dude, that's freaking awesome. Like, I've tried like one day on a practice day, I went out to John Schroeder's out here in Grass Valley, and I took my peg off. I'm like, oh, I'm going to learn how to ride without the peg. I couldn't even do a lap. It's like, whoa, it's like super sketch. And you're like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I have to have that peg, and it's different. Yeah, I don't.
Well, everyone's different.
Yeah.
And seat time. I mean, I saw Austin when he was just a little kid, like a 12-year-old kid, and he was sensational. I mean, Austin was. I saw him at Victorville, especially. I remember that in my mind. And Austin was flying. I mean, he was only 12, and the Romo brothers were flying. Brock Nickel was flying. I mean, these guys were full bore at age like 10, 11, 12. So they've geared themselves to have that, that ability to really, to ride like that,
Yeah, it's the seat time, it's the talent. And what's crazy is, it almost seems like as the decades go by, they're, every 10 years or whatever, you just like, you look at the guys that were riding back in the 70s, you see, they talk about how fast they were, but you kind of watch them and you're like, that's kind of slow. And then in the 90s, they're getting faster and they're getting faster. And every single year, we're beating track times and we're getting more risky and more ballsy. And it's just like, wow, it's really cool.
No, it's true. Everything's faster. There's only one thing that's different. Actually, that's the bikes are just, the technology is getting faster and faster, and everything's getting better and better. The technology, that's why we're going so fast nowadays. But there's only one thing that's the same as the 70s, and that's basically we ride with the uniforms. We don't have much protection, and we're just like the same, but we're going really fast without a lot of really protection. That's the only thing that's the same as the old days, is we don't really have, that great of protection.
Yeah. And actually, so I'm really happy that I'm getting my Kevlars right now. I'm going to be getting them made, because this entire time I haven't been wearing any protection underneath my leathers. Like I got these leathers made, those red, white, and blue leathers made, and they were too tight. Whoever made
Yeah.
them, there was no allowance, and so they're like the leather was like skin tight, and I couldn't wear anything underneath. So
Wow.
this entire time of like all my crashes, all my wrecks and stuff like that, I was wearing nothing. So just this last weekend in Bakersfield, I kept telling myself, man, I need to wear something. So I wore a chest protector underneath, and it was too tight. Like it was like I could hardly breathe underneath that thing. And you know, the leathers, because they're too tight, I have a flexibility problem on the bike. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I can only like lean so far, and I'm like, that's it. Like there's the lockout point. You know, I can't lay over the bike, you know, and get like full like distributing weight to the back and the front and like, you know, back the bike in. I can't do any of that because my body can only move so much. And
yeah, but so when you got your Kevlars made, you went ahead and had them measure with your body armor in, correct?
yeah. No, I went out. I bought the whole deal, and I bought full on like body armor and everything, and you know, got my measurements made and stuff. So I can't wait to get them because I can't wait to feel that full flex and like it's gonna be like a feather. You know, I'm just gonna be like you know, I'm just gonna loosey goosey on the bike, and you know, it's
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I wear full body armor too when I race, and I have all the back, you know, the things in the back and all
Yep,
the chest,
back brace.
the back brace and the chest, and I put my uniform on, and you know, I had it measured that way, and it feels really great. You know, it feels just like, you know, you don't have anything on really.
Yeah. No, I can't wait to get that because that's going to be a whole new advantage that I got. You know, I'm learning how to ride stiff, but the minute I get to ride, you know, with like a nice light suit, it's like just keep up if you can. You know, it's like
It's gonna be fun.
Babe Ruth walking out with 3 baseball bats, you know, doing his preheat. You know, preheat with 3 bats, and then once he gets that one, boom, home run every time, boom.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's going to be a world of difference having that uniform and having a tight leathers or Kevlars or whatever is really hard. You know, it's it's really hard on you. It really stresses you out, really.
Yeah. No, I can hardly breathe and stuff, and so and like, you know, they're not going all the way down my arms and my legs, and you know, it's just like I look goofy in them, but it's just they're leathers. I've taken hot showers with them. I've like soaked them, walked around in them all day. I've like tried stretching them out, and you know, I got as much as I could out of it. But so
wow. Well, time to move on. Is this you getting a pie in the face with a clown?
Yeah. So that's I don't remember whose birthday that was, but that's actually my sister. She dressed up as a clown, Mary, and yeah. I got pie in the face. Glory days.
You guys having a good time, I think, over there.
Oh yeah. So I don't know if Rhett mentioned, but we come from a large family.
No.
So yeah. So I'm actually child number 6 out of 9. So there's 9 siblings in our family.
Wow.
Yeah, and if I'm not even kidding you, I can promise you, if you threw every single one of us on a speedway, we would be American champions. You know, it's like we all grew up racing motocross. We all have, you know, we're all fearless, and you know, we're just all out there to have fun and have a good time. But you know, other people have different opportunities and different, you know, things they're doing. But if you threw every single one of us on a dirt bike, we'd go far with it.
Oh, definitely. I know one other thing you could do if you're not a speedway rider one day is actually you could get a job part-time in December and be like Santa Claus.
Oh yeah. No,
So,
I was part-time, you know.
Yeah, you
Just
could get a
part-time.
job at Walmart.
Yep.
When you
part-time.
get-
But I didn't have the gifts, you know. I was entrusted with gifts, so I was only allowed to give hugs and, you know, free COVID. Get your COVID here.
I have my shot so I can hug everybody.
Yeah.
So when you get 65 years old and you're living on SS, you can get a job at Walmart to be a Santa Claus.
Santa Claus greeter.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's good. Actually, back to that picture.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. See those two brothers on the outside?
Yeah.
That's Mark and Sebi. They're both twins, and they both race Speedway. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
So Mark and Sebi are both twin brothers, and they're both D3 riders, and they're identical. It's so hard to tell which one's which.
Nice.
Yeah, you'll have to look them up. You'll be like, wait, that's Sebi. No, that's Mark. Wait, no, but that's Sebi. No, that's Mark. You know, and you're just like, you get confused, but they're actually some really funny guys, and like, you know, they're D3s. I don't know how far they'll go, but I help them out whenever I can, and I'm trying to drag them down to Paris whenever I can, and you know, they always get caught up in something else, but that's definitely something I want to see them go far in. Yep, that's me, Santa Claus out making his run.
Santa Claus. Wow. You do more than working at Walmart. You actually ride a speedway bike.
Oh yeah, no, I was in a rush. I was you know, I wasn't going anywhere. I felt like I was going in circles, but we got the job done. Yeah. Ho.
So do you give out the Capri Suns at the Paris and stuff? Do you guys like? Someone told me you have like a gun holster, and you're like, stick them up, partner. I'm gonna shoot you with a Capri Sun. Like, there you go.
Yeah. So Retton actually snagged that. He was actually starting to wear the belt, the beer holster belt and stuff. So, but yeah, no, I started doing that. I thought, you know, I got to make a good name. I want to help the kids out and stuff. So I'd start buying the big packs of Capri Suns, and I started handing them out. And then we built the reputation of, hey, anybody want Capri Suns? You know, the Todd boys, you know, they got it. But, you know, I'd do my loop, and, you know, I'd be like passing them out and helping everybody out. You know, it's like, here's a drink. And I go down to the flaggers, and, you know, the guys getting everybody out on grid, and you know, it's just like, dude, Capri Suns, you know, just fueling them up. You know, they got to keep going. You know, you got to keep them happy, or else, you know, it's a stressful night. So.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
that's right. Can.
We need more people like that in Speedway. You know, like helping out and being cool, and you know, and you and your brother do a great job of that.
Yeah, we're trying to make, you know, you got to make the event, you know, fun, you know, more active. It's not just, let's drive all the way down there. Let's break our bike and, you know, do 4 laps and 3 heats, and then that's it. Let's go home. You know, it's like, let's get some action. Let's have some fun. Let's have some joy and laughter, and, you know, let's definitely make the family worth it, you know. And, you know, I think that's kind of what we do. You know, we don't just go down there and ride. We go down there and just have a swell of a time, and, you know, we're just out.
That's great.
You know, yeah.
Well, Speedway is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun, you know. It's supposed to have a good time. If you're not having a good time involved in Speedway or racing or just being in Speedway, I guess you should try to find something else.
Oh yeah. Go find bowling, you know.
Go bowling, you know.
Go bowling. It's pretty local.
Yeah, go bowling. Let's say, what else can you do? You can go like golfing or something.
Like golfing, disc golfing, you know. Go play in the park, walk. I don't know.
There's lots of things you could do.
It's funny. I actually got a lot of hobbies, you know. And when somebody does something, I'd like to pick it up. You know, I go the full extreme. You know, it's like, you know, snowboarding. You know, it's like, give me the full best everything that I can do, and let's start doing tricks. You know, and
nice. Well, that's cool, and it's really great, and it's really great to have you in the hive today, Rees.
Oh, yeah.
You're really. I never met you before, so it's nice to meet you.
Oh yeah, no. Well, this is just over the camera. You know, eventually we're gonna have to see each other face to face. You know.
Yeah.
Either you.
Yeah, I'll definitely come out.
I gotta go to you. You know.
Either way, you can come. I always have a place for you, and any of my Speedway family and friends always, you know, we'll find a place for you, and it's really, you know, once the COVID thing and the travel restrictions they ease up, you know, it'll be a lot better. So.
Oh yeah. So do you have a Speedway track out where you're at?
I don't have a Speedway track. I was talking to some of my friends about building one, and they said, no, don't build a Speedway track.
So what if we built one on the beach, right? You know, it would wash away the next tide. You know what I mean?
The high tide would come up in 1 hour, and then there'd be no more speedway track.
Yeah, it'd be a brand new, fresh groove track. You know.
Yeah. One of my houses, there's a little basketball court. It's only the size of us, and I was thinking of putting like a 15, 74 gearing on it, and then just riding around the basketball court.
Barking tire.
Just a little tiny sand basketball court. So, yeah, I definitely could be the champion of the Philippines. So that would be good. I could be like the Philippine Speedway champion.
You're
that would be
champion. Nobody else can beat you because they don't even have a bike.
Yeah, they don't have a bike. I could just go out there and be the only guy in the race and push the bike across the thing.
Yeah, I'm my own division.
Yeah, I can make whatever I want.
I'm the referee. I'm the the writer.
That's
right. Host, the announcer.
Yeah, and I have the big. The national championship poster, of being the champion of the country. Like, oh, he's good. Oh, it's fun.
You're the founder.
The founder, the promoter, the scorekeeper, the guy that does the track, and the rider.
Hey, get off the bike, groom the track real quick. And then
there are some Asian riders that are really. I go trail riding with some of these local guys, and they're little guys, like the size of a little speedway rider, and they're fast. These guys are good. And I was thinking, God, these guys could really ride speedway. I think if they were trained and they had the right sort of facilities and stuff, they have a lot of talent. It's just that they don't, have like the motorcycles and stuff. But some of these guys, that I go riding with, they're little Filipino guys. They can ride a motor. They shock me really because I'm thinking, oh, these guys are no good, but they're really good. And they can ride a bike. There's one guy. We went on this trail up in the mountains here and off the island, and I couldn't get up this. It was like rocks, and it was going straight up. And I run up a little bit, and I couldn't ride it, and I had to push my bike. And this little guy, he was a little tiny guy. He can't even reach the ground on the bike. I was like, I walked down halfway down the hill so that I could help this guy because I'm like, no way is this guy gonna make it because I couldn't make it. So I know this guy couldn't make it. So I walk halfway down the hill to help his bike pull it up because he's gonna fall because he's so little he can't touch the ground.
Yeah, typical
tiny guy. So I go down and this guy just starts going up the hill and his feet are flying and he's going ah, and his feet are going like that and I'm like, oh my gosh. And he keeps going and he's bouncing on rocks, bong, 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 bong. And I'm like, oh. And I'm ready to hold him and he keeps going by me all the way to the top and his legs are flying and everything. And I'm like, that's a good rider, He's a good rider.
Yeah, just hold on and give it all the throttle you got.
Full speed and just hold on like a rag doll.
Yeah.
Ah!
What if your body's flying? We're going in one direction. That's up.
That's right. I always respect that guy because I'm thinking I could only make it halfway up, and this guy went all the way up, and he's a tiny guy.
Yeah, you're over here cautious, like I don't want to hurt myself. He's like, full send,
full throttle. Yeah, he's like a speedway rider, but on a rocks going up there. So yeah, they have some good talent and stuff, and there's some good riders and I go riding with a few of them. I ride motorcycles every day, and I have motorcycles on and off the island, so I ride everywhere. I go riding everywhere.
Damn.
And the island's a motorcycle island, so everyone has motorcycles. You don't have cars, you have motorcycles. So
yeah,
we ride motorcycles.
Well, now I'm gonna have to actually really make a trip.
Yeah, it's fun. The beach is really white in the summer. Summer's coming up right now soon, and then the sand is real beautiful. And I have a lot of blogs on my YouTube channel here, and I go on the beach a lot, and I have nothing to do, so I like blogging. Something that like so it's fun. have a good time, and it's really clean. It's really fresh air. It's kind of like living like on a deserted island, kind of, like it's kind of like natural and clean, and it's really nice. It's really beautiful. It's one of the best beaches in the world, and it's just it's like a dream. The water's warm, and it's fun. It's a good time.
Man, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
It's like living in California, but better.
Yeah, but we got cold water in California. That's the bad part. Like, it's freezing but cold.
Yeah, roads, pollution, taxes.
Yeah, high taxes.
Yeah.
A governor destroying the state of California.
Gosh.
Oh, dang. It's bad. What's nice about where I'm at is that the country is law abiding, and there's not any radical, it's all basically kind of like law abiding, and everyone behaves themselves. There's not radicals. There's not running around protesting the government. They won't last very long, if they're making trouble.
Oh yeah. No, that's awesome. That's a good country, Take care of
they like Americans, and I have lots of friends, and I've lived here going on 11 years or something, and
oh wow,
and I've never had any problems, with people, or never, been in danger, and I go freely everywhere. I travel. If you look at my YouTube channel, I blog all over. I'm traveling all over the country, all over, and it's really safe, for the most part. Of course, I don't put myself in bad situations, you have to be careful wherever you go, and nowhere's perfect.
Yeah.
But
don't tell everybody, or they might move there.
Yeah, I have a villa for sale if anyone wants to leave California.
Yeah, I'm kind of considering now. We could be the only two speedway riders in the Philippines.
Yeah, I welcome a speedway rider, and then that way we can race.
Yeah. Well,
we can have some fun. So yeah, we have a good time, and it's really simple life, and it's just really nice, and it's just really relaxing and stuff. When I go back to California, life is moving fast, and everything's moving, and everyone's everything's like moving, spinning, and then when I'm here, I'm like, give me the coconut under the tree,
Yeah.
the $1 coconut. So it's nice, and it's really good, and the country's nice. It's law abiding, and nobody's out. Everyone's scared to make trouble because they know they're going to prison. So they're like, no. So everyone's very respectful, and the people are really nice. They speak English mostly, and they're nice people, friendly. They say hi. They're like good old people, they're nice. So it's really nice. The country is really fantastic. I really love, the Philippines is really, I'm surprised that more people don't retire there because, it's just such a great place.
Yeah. Was it pretty expensive out there or what?
It's cheap. Well, it depends, foreigners can't actually own houses normally, but they can own condos and stuff like that. And it depends, what people want to buy, if they want. I have a 5-star villas, so they're kind of nice, and then they have cheaper things too. So it just depends what people want.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Sounds like you were pretty successful in a career then.
Yeah, I had a construction business for over 20 years in California, and I worked mostly alone, and I was able to sponsor some speedway riders. I had my own speedway team for a while, and had Buck Blair, Eddie Castro.
Wow.
Let's see, they were riding on my team, and I had Alan Doss, and I had, let's say, who else? I had Dylan Black, and I had several riders. We all had a speedway team.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty rad to have under your belt like that,
Yeah, it's fun, and I just love the sport of speedway, and I love giving back. However I can. I could always do more, but I always try to do my best. Yeah, just do what you can do, and But the sport of speedway has been really great, and I've been racing speedway on and off since I was 16 years old. So I just enjoyed the sport, and I would ride, and then I would stop for a while and work or something, and then I would kind of come back to it my whole life. So Speedway is like that, where I can't get it out of your blood.
Oh yeah, it's always there, and
it is. It's really fun.
Yeah, I kind of feel I'm in the same situation because I'm getting bigger and bigger at work. I'm like kind of getting promoted a little bit and stuff like that. And it's like my career is like taking off, I feel, and like if I really just dive into it, I can go far. But at the same time, it's like career speedway. It's like, oh my gosh, it's kind of difficult, especially trying to maintain both.
Well, you're not getting any younger, so.
Oh, I know. See, that's why.
That's the thing. If you get too old, you won't race speedway.
Yeah, I'll be racing cars on 4 wheels.
Well, speedway's not forever, so you can do it as long as you can, as long as you're having a good time and giving Capri Suns to the riders and things.
You got to do it as young as you can. That's it.
You do.
You got to do it as young as you can.
I mean, the younger the better, and I've seen a lot of guys start speedway at in their late 20s or mid to late 20s, actually like late 20s and early 30s. And I think personally, to be a good speedway rider, I think that's too old. When you start off, in your late 20s or early 30s. I mean, I've never seen a guy be a good speedway rider starting at that age. It's just too old. Yeah, it's too old.
No, it's kind of game over. You go in there just to have fun and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're really, really talented, then you'll get somewhere.
But even if you go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I don't remember what age Aaron Fox was when he started, but he took off pretty quick and he picked it up. I think in 2 years he just boom took off because he has all that motocross behind his belt. But
that's the thing. Guys with a good motorsports background, like Aaron Fox or not Sumner. Let's say, who was that? That was Scott Autry. Scott Autry and Aaron Fox. They have this big motorsports background. I mean, these guys were just stars. Very talented in their sports. So I think a lot of these guys, when they have this big base of racing experience. Not all, but some of these guys can come into speedway and they can really be an instant talent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because of their foundation is so strong in motorsports and motorcycles.
Yeah, no, they definitely got it going, and
they do. Yeah, I mean, Aaron's one of those guys. He came out of nowhere and he just was like, he just went up to the top, like instantly. I was like, what?
Yeah. He's pretty
Aaron,
cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I've hung out with him a couple times. We actually went to Tennessee together. I was working with him on getting my bike over there because he kind of organized everything on getting all the bikes transported and stuff. And, I stayed at his house not too long ago twice, when I go down to Paris. It's actually pretty cool. Aaron and his wife are some really, really good people. And, I get a kick out of them, racing or not, really good people.
Yeah, Aaron is a true professional in speedway, and every rider should model themselves after Aaron Fox. Yeah, he's really a pro. That guy is first class all the way.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's good. And like I mentioned, that guy Scott Autry back in '72. Scott Autry was he raced all these different motorsports from flat track. He was a big time flat tracker. And then he raced road racing. He raced like all these different events. And he was like racing since he was like 10 years old. He raced the Baja and all these things. And he was a star flat tracker. And he came to Speedway his rookie year, never raced Speedway, never touched his Speedway bike. And he got second place in the United States Nationals. Behind Rick Woods, and Mike Bass was below him in third. I'm thinking,
damn,
he never touched a speedway bike and went past Mike Bass to number 2 on the podium. That is sick. I mean, when did you hear of a guy never touching a speedway bike going straight up almost to number 1 his first year, rookie year? That is insane.
Guy's got balls of steel. He's just good at everything. Man.
I keep saying Mike Bass is lucky that he went to Europe the next year, because Scott Autry would have won about 6 national championships in a row, and Mike Bass may not have won all those.
Man, he could have gone big.
He was big time. And then he went to Europe and was in the, I think he was on the podium, number 3 in the world championship a couple of years later. In the world, like not just America, but the world. And,
yeah, the world.
I mean, God, the guy was crazy. And he was just, his talent was unbelievable because of his motorsports background. You know, he had raced all those times, and Speedway was kind of nothing to him because he had so much ability and so much experience racing that he just came to Speedway, and it was like, yeah, Speedway.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But that doesn't happen very often. It's almost impossible for that to happen.
Yeah, unless you got some really good talent, you know. Good talent,
Yeah.
good background. And
Yeah. Well, there's a few guys like that for sure. But Speedway is not an easy sport. It's not a sport that you come in and you just dominate. I mean, Speedway, like you said, it takes a lot of trial and error, a lot of mistakes, a lot of practice, you know, like things happen and then you're not going to do that again. And as long as you just not repeat those mistakes and you learn from those mistakes, you keep getting better and better as a Speedway rider. That's the key.
yeah, because if you keep making the same mistakes, you're not going to really get anywhere.
No.
You know?
If you make the same mistakes, you're stupid, basically.
Yeah, you're just something's wrong.
Something's wrong with you.
Yeah, something's just not clicking in your head. Yeah.
No, you have to learn, and it's okay to make mistakes as a Speedway rider. I mean, it's normal, but it's the main thing is to develop yourself and be better next time when those situations come, and that you'll never, you know, do that, repeat those mistakes again. That's the whole key right there.
Oh, yeah.
That you
Yeah.
keep getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's pretty cool. Like when I was doing some track days and stuff like that, like learning how to ride, I'd go up to John Schroeder's track, and you know, he's out here in Grass Valley, and every time you go out on the track, it's always different, you know, like either a rainstorm comes in and the track's like just tacky, it's just right, but then there's ruts going through, you know, from the water, you know, and just like, and then some days you go out there on a hot summer day and the rocks are exposing, so like you hit a rock and you bounce up, or you know, just the track was just always different. So you're like going back and forth, like trying to juggle around, like what's a track like, you know, and you know, it's learning how to ride in all these different conditions, and then you show up to the racetrack on a nice smooth track, and you're like, wow, this is gravy. This is gravy. Like this is nothing like riding a rough track, you know, and you know, that's definitely helped me go far, is, you know, riding on almost an inconsistent track. And I would say, hey, don't ever change it. Always make it inconsistent, because, you know, the more inconsistent riding you can do, and you just learn how to be better. But the minute you get on a nice smooth track, this is nothing, you know.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I mean, yeah, as long as you can just, you know, ride those and then just, you know, you get used to everything bad, and then when you have everything good, it makes it nice.
Oh yeah, no, it's always scared me. I'm like, holy crap, you know, there's a big old trench there. Like I need to slow down, I need to bump over it, you know, and then get back going. But you know, like when we had a practice day over at Fast Fridays, there was a big old pothole in turn 1, and it was scary at first. But I'd watch Billy Gennaro; he would ride right through it, and I'm like, why is he riding straight through it? Like he doesn't even lift. You just hear him the throttle just wide open, just wow, wah, wah, and it goes through it. I'm like, holy crap! Like you really can ride through it if you just commit, hold the throttle, and just know how to ride in these crappy conditions. And it's just like, you can get it, you know, and that started picking up, and, you know, it's definitely.
Yeah, I think that has to do with also your weight, you know, like some people have the weight that they can do that with, you know, like lighter guys, they can ride over the bumps, you know, they can just fly over them, like Billy and other light riders. They can actually just, which is great, you know, I mean, and then you get heavier riders like me You hit the hole, and then you go, whoa.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not saying that Billy Gennaro's fat, but I kind of think that I'm a little lighter than he is.
Yeah. Yeah, at 160, yeah, you're definitely. I don't think he's 160. He's got a lot of muscle. That guy. I think his muscle is 160.
Yeah, he's getting pretty fluffy. It comes with age.
Yeah, his dad is no small fry either. I think.
No. His dad's really cool too. He's definitely a sport. When you show up to the Fast Fridays or whatever, and he's around, you're like, that guy's a sport to have around. He'll help you out. He'll give you everything he's got. It's just like
that's great.
That's true speedway right there.
Yeah, and Billy, has had such a fantastic, speedway career. I mean, 10 championships, and I mean the guy is just unbelievable talent, and that guy just has that fire still to succeed and to win every race, and so. When you race Billy Gennaro, you better be on your A game. That's all I can say.
Oh man, yeah, no. I did go one heat with him. It was my second heat at Bakersfield, and by the time we hit the gate, we're going into turn 1, and he was right there, and I just kind of scrubbed for a second, but that small little scrub, and everyone took off, and I'm like, no, it's like
so fast. They're so fast.
Oh my gosh! And it's just a rabbit chase. You're just trying to chase these guys down, and you're just like, it's impossible. You really just have to hold the throttle, and you got to bunch up with these guys, and
it's kind of discouraging when they take off on you like that, because there's no way you're going to get them, and as fast as you go, you're screwed, and it sucks. It's a bad feeling when you can't get these guys, and no matter how hard you go, you're done. I mean, there's no way you're going to get them. It's impossible.
No, it's just a drag race. You tap the brake during the drag race. That's it. You should have done that, bud. You should have been full commit and kept up with the big guys.
Yeah.
But
it sucks when you have to catch them though. You look at them like, oh, there's Billy Gennaro, there's Max, and oh, I got a long ways to go, and it's like discouraging because like no chance.
yeah, no, most definitely. And
they're not going to fall. They're not going to fall. They're not going to give you a chance.
Oh no! Why would they do that? That's their race. That's not. It's not like, here, bud. Here's a race. I'm going to give it to you. No, that's their race, and I need to take it away from them. If anything, I gotta stuff my nose up there, and I gotta win. The checker flag isn't given; it's earned. So
you're doing a lot better. So I mean, your progress is good. So you're doing great.
Practice time.
Just keep going. You'll do it. You just keep going. Keep riding. Keep practicing. Keep racing. It's just a progress that everyone is together. The only thing is you just have to keep with it. Don't quit or something like that. There's people that keep with it, then they keep getting better.
Yeah. No, I fall off so many dang times, and you know what? I just get back up and keep going. Just keep getting up and going. I ain't gonna quit. It's in my blood. I'm not gonna stop.
Your grandpa gave you those genes, I think.
Yeah, he definitely did. And I'm gonna
your crazy grandpa, the one that goes 228 miles an hour in the water. And speedway rider too.
Yeah, man.
Very good.
One day I'll be good, right?
Yeah. Oh, just have patience, my man. Have patience. And, look at these guys that are good. They're not good because they started yesterday. They're good because they started when they were 10 years old.
Oh yeah, no, they've been doing it for 10 plus years, and this is actually. I don't know if you consider 2020 a season, but if it was, this would be going into my 3rd season right now. So
wow, that's okay. You got all the way to D1 now, so that's what matters. You got all the way to D1. Now you're riding with the big boys, and you're at the bottom of the barrel, kind of like a lower, but you're moving up, slowly. So that's important.
Yeah, no, it's definitely when I was in D3, it's all the learning curve figured out. D2, it's like, okay, this is fast and all and stuff like that, still learning and stuff. But once I started really getting up there, it's like, okay, I don't want to be following myself because like it's no fun sitting up front. When you're chasing someone, you learn, and that's what I really wanted. So now it's cool that I'm in D1 because I actually double dipped. I was in D2 and D1, so I'd be chasing everybody in D1, but then doing really good at D2. So, but once I started getting to the point, it's like, all right, I got to ditch D2 because I can't keep taking everybody's trophies. I got to give it to them.
Yeah. So yeah, they don't want you in D2 if you're hogging all the trophies. For sure.
Yeah, no, they're getting all mad. What's this guy doing here? He's a D1 guy. No, just 4 months ago I was D3, so I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, we all know that, but yeah, it's fun, and you'll learn a lot more in D1, and chasing those fast guys, will be really good experience for everyone and for you too. It's great.
It's good for everybody. As long as you're humble and you're out there and you're just like, I got to get better. I got to get better. You're going to go far.
Yep.
I don't care about the trophies. I want to go up there. I want to be playing in the playground with the big boys. I'm tired of playing in the sandbox. I want to be on the swing set.
Yeah, you did. Well, you did really great in Bakersfield, and I mean, your riding was really picked up, and you could really see that bump up in your level ability riding at Bakersfield this last weekend. So, if that's a sign of things to come, it looks like it's going to go good for you.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, yeah, definitely. And Bakersfield's actually, I couldn't believe that was actually my first time on a bank track. And I don't know if you've ever ridden a bank track before, but it hooks up. Like it's you try backing the bike in, or you try like slowing the bike down, it just slows down instantly, and it like sucks you up to the pole, and you're like, whoa, I can go in here way faster than normal. So you start picking up speed, and you get faster and faster. It's incredible. Yeah. Bakersfield is probably one of my first, favorite tracks right now. Even
you're riding that good. You have to really hit. You have to go into that turn really fast too. You have to really have that thing wide open, and you have to really hit it hard. When you hit it and you go into the turn, you can't go slow. You have to really fly into.
No, you have to give it all it's got, because the minute you get into it, you just back it in, and then it hooks up, and you're like, what? Like I can go in here faster, and then you start realizing you really can. Go so much faster. It's banks crazy versus flat. And yeah, Bakersfield. I'm really looking forward to it again. And the cool part is it's only 4 hours away, from us.
That's
Paris.
Not bad.
Yeah, Paris is an 8-hour commute. And it's long and stressful, but it is what it is. I don't really mind. Most of the times I drive. I go all the way down there. And I drive, and then I sleep during the daytime, and then race, and then just do a straight, right after back. I don't pay for a hotel because, we're just kind of budgeting it and stuff like that, and just trying to get there, get home, get unloaded, and get the rest of our Sunday off.
So, yeah, 4 hours. You don't have to get a hotel. You can go straight home after the race, and you're home.
We're home at midnight, and it's like, this is awesome, But Paris is stressful. We get home at like 5 a.m. and you're like,
You have to spend the night. It's too far. You have to find a place to stay.
You feel that way, but I troop it out.
Wow.
I'm a trooper. I just take the mile, and I just go. I let everybody sleep. It is what it is. If I can still do it. So I'm taking advantage of my young body.
That's good. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Also, I want to show one picture. Now, can you tell me what this is right here?
Bring it on. Oh, man.
What is this?
So
is that you? Is that a dead man, or is that Rees?
You could say that's me.
Is that you?
Yeah, you could say that's me. Yep, that's me again right there.
You're kind of like a crazy looking guy there, I think.
So
what?
So growing up,
what are you doing?
Growing up, we all worked for our dad. My dad owns his own construction business, right? And he's a concrete artist. He's really good. He can take concrete and he can make wood. He can make wood look like concrete make it look like wood. He can do trees. He can do rocks. You'd be like, oh, nice. No, that's a boulder. No, that's concrete. That's my dad's work. He's really, really good. So he's an concrete artist. And these TV shows and stuff called Yard Crashers, Turf Wars. It's on the DIY network, and they picked us up, and they would actually have us come out and do our backyards and stuff like that. And we would have like 2 days to like walk in, tear, like it's Saturday, Sunday, walk in on Saturday, tear up the whole backyard, pour concrete, do our fun stuff. And then there's all these other different construction companies like doing like the patios, the gazebos, the lawns, landscaping companies. And in 2 days, by 5 p.m. on Sunday evening, there's a brand new backyard. And it was really cool growing up doing these TV shows. And that's what I did a lot. But sometimes when I wouldn't show up, like, cause I was busy, like, I think I was on like some field trips and stuff like that. Cause I was still in high school at the time when I was doing all that. I was independent study, so I can like still work and do school and stuff like that. But when I wouldn't show up, they took a pair of pants and they put cowboy boots on it, and they stuck me in other places and stuff like that. And that was considered me when I was out and about.
So this is like a dummy of you? Or
yeah,
is that you?
Yeah. So that's a dummy of me. When I wasn't there, they say, "Hey, Rees made it to the job, but he didn't make it really."
Oh, rest in peace, Rees.
Yeah, and that other one, that was Matt Blashaw. He was actually the host of Matt Blashaw. He's a really cool guy. He's the host of like Yard Crashers, Turf Wars. I don't know what TV show he's doing right now, but he's a really great guy. So I think he just had a kid too. It's crazy. Time flies when you're having fun, especially racing speedway.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to watch your progress, and I'm sure you're just going to keep getting better and better. And it's going to be fun. Just beat your brother's ass if you can.
I'm going to get him, but at the same time, I got to raise him up with me. You know what I mean? It's just like, hey, this is what things you got to do. You got to start figuring it out. I'm not your daddy. I'm not here to give you everything that I got, but you got to start figuring it out, and eventually you grow on your own. So,
yeah.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah. You're both really progressing well. So, I mean, it's really, it's just super to watch your growth, and the sky's the limit. Just keep going.
Yep. It never ends. It literally never ends. You can only you're only young for so long, but eventually you start getting older, you can't do it anymore. So I'm just trying to push for the furthest as I can go and as young as I can,
Exactly. No, that's great. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Rees. You're a really great rider, and we can't wait to watch you race again.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate you, Brian.
Thank you.
I really enjoy the shows and stuff like that, and everything that you do, the conversations, and it's good to hear, and that you're taking all these guys and bringing them in, and showing them off, because some people, they just don't really get heard of, and it's really cool.
Thank you. Yeah. I like all these guys, and it's, and a lot of people don't have any publicity. I go on YouTube and nobody has anything about them, or hardly anything, and so it's nice to give them a show. So if maybe a promoter sees them one day, they're like, let's go see what Rees is about, and they watch the show one day, maybe 1 year from now, maybe 6 months from now. And, it helps the rider, because the promoter or something might say, yeah, we like that guy. We're going to go for him. So it's good that these guys get that, right?
Yeah, no, and that's the goal, and that's the cool part that you're doing with these guys. Is you're exposing them, you're popping them out there, you're advertising them, and because that's literally the only way. Because I'm hoping one day that somebody down under in Europe or the UK is like watching, like, hey, who's this Rees guy, or who's this Retton guy? But you don't know, you never know. So the thing that you're doing is like, it's really cool that you're dragging these guys out, you're making the name, you're popping them and stuff like that, and you're gonna be the cause of why Rees Todd becomes a world time national champion, or Rees Todd, or you never know.
Yeah, I hope so, because I'm pulling for you guys. I'm on your team, and this is your show, not mine, and I'm here for you, and you're not here for me. So I'm here to expose your speedway, who you are, and also help you in the future, achieve your dreams, hopefully.
Yeah, but we're all here to have fun. That's all that counts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's great fun, and I'm really happy, you know, I can be. It's hard sometimes. Some of the riders don't want to come on, or you know, they make excuses, or you know,
you gotta knock them over the head. What's your problem?
Knock
Like,
them
come on.
come
Like,
on.
dude, like the spotlight's on you. Like this is gonna make you big. Come on. You
Yeah,
got this.
you know, my show has done really well. We have over 4,000 hours of watch time of people watching the show. The show's done really great, and you know, it's really my pleasure to, you know, do that because it's a way of me giving back to the sport and helping, you know, other people. And it's not about me at all. It's actually about the riders. And so it's really great to, and I have fun, you know, I goof around a lot with the riders and I joke around, and, you know, since I'm a rider, I guess I can do that.
Yeah, no, this is your part of paying back to the Speedway, you know, or just
Yeah.
like this is you staying in the loop, you know, you're getting everybody, come on, you know, you're building the sandcastle, you know, you're making these figures and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
you know,
it's fun.
You're the foundation of a lot of these guys. And it's really
Thank
cool.
you.
know,
And I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate the guests that come on the show, the past guests. You know, they've been really wonderful, great people. And the Speedway, you know, community is a tight-knit family. You know, we all appreciate each other. We're all here for each other. You know, we're not against each other. We're a team. We're together, you know, and it's really nice.
Yeah, no, most definitely.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you, Brian.
Thank you. Appreciate you too, Rees. And thank you so much for hanging out with us in the Hive tonight.
Yes, sir. Hey, and if I could just give a shout out, I got a list of sponsors real quick. Most importantly, can I get a big shout out to, well, you know what? Let me just go down here to the bottom of the list. John Schroeder. John Schroeder. Hey, you're a stud, man. I don't care what anybody says about you. You know, you're one of a kind. You got the Speedway track. You made us all, you know, and you made us all take off. But I love you, Johnny. Hey, may your reputation go far. You know, you're a legend, and legends never die. Your body may die, but you'll never. Culver Trucking, thank you very much. I really, really appreciate, you know, you're going to be paying for a lot of the things that I'm doing. You're going to help me go far. Diamond Trust, you know, Steve, you're the man, you know. You might say you are, but really, you are. Ambrose Body Shop, Sean, you're the man. Carol's Market, North State, Eagle One Concrete Pumping, G&T Truck Repair. It's a company I used to work for. They're really good sport, and I miss them so much. Superior Coolant Repair, you know, you guys are something else. But you know what? I love every single one of you, and I'm, you know, I think about you every time I drive past you. Ron Patrick, ECM, what a guy, you know. The guy looks homeless and all, but I mean, you guys probably will never know him, but he owns a company. The stories you hear from him, you know, things he say, you're just like it's unbelievable, but it's just so much fun. Like, you're looking at this guy that's homeless, but he owns a Ferrari. He'll take you out to any single restaurant in the world, and you'll have one hell of a time. Jagged Edges, Terry, you know, you do some really good work. Definitely a big help and a sponsor. You know, they've got somebody in there that does all my 3D designing, and you know, it's really helping. Then when I need material to help like fix bikes or build something, you know, definitely worth it. Mike Todd and Sons, that's my pop. You know, if you want some concrete work done, you know, he's the guy to go to. Billy Hamill, that guy I get all my damn you know, all my parts for and everything. You probably really don't know him. His name's Billy Hamill. You can look him up. You might find him on the web. You'll have to probably search him around a little bit, you know, but he's all right. He's all right, you know. Love you, Billy. And that's pretty much it, you know. Mike Dilkey, I'm not being lazy on you. I'm just super busy, you know. My life's just chaotic. When I'm not doing something, I'm doing something, you know. Life's just all over the road. So, but Brian B., you're the man of the hour. You know, I really appreciate everything that you do, helping us take off, and really appreciate you, man. You know, it's
my pleasure.
Yeah, don't quit your day job.
Don't quit my day job. I won't quit my day job. Forget that. And you mentioned a guy named Billy Hamill. Who was that? I never heard his name before.
Well, if I'm this tall, he's probably about this tall.
Yeah.
He's got white hair, kind of white
Yeah.
and gray. You know, he's kind of in between of getting old, but he still wants to be young, you know. So he does some kind of water sports for now, you know. He used to ride stuff on 2 wheels, a speedway. Yeah, the kind of the stuff that we do. I don't know how far he went, but, you know.
Probably a D3 rider, but who knows?
Another D3, just like Max Rummel, you know.
Yeah.
He's just another D3 rider, you know.
No
Thinks
good.
he's the
No
big
good
shot,
riders.
the big deal, you know. I think he sells like carb kits, you know, like carb rebuild kits to like Del Ordos, you know, the carburetors before he ever runs again.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is the best thing you could ever buy, a Del Ordo.
Del Ordo.
Yeah. So no,
That
Billy
was like
Hamilton.
1970, wasn't it? Del Ordo, 1970.
Yeah, no, they're just the antique man. They work. I mean,
They worked. Yeah.
Yeah, those Blicks and BZs, man. Holy moly. What a night and day difference.
I think the BZ's a lot better than Del Ordo, right?
The BZs are better, but if anybody's out there and they want to go to have the best of the best equipment, buy a Blix. But if you buy a Blix, don't try tuning it yourself. Go straight to Billy Hamill. That guy will square you away. He knows his stuff. You know, if you're up here in the northern and stuff like that, you know, and it's a science. You know, I can't tell you how to tune them and stuff like that. You know, it's top secret, and Billy Hamill knows it all. And if I told everybody, he'd kill me. So, and I kind of value my life. So, yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Go talk.
Thank you so much. And we appreciate you coming on the show today. That was awesome.
Yeah. No, it was a good show, and I appreciate you, Brian. You know,
I appreciate you too. And we're pulling for you and all the riders. And we're just so excited about your future and your development is so great. And we're really seeing a big improvement. So just keep it up, my friend.
Yep. No, most definitely. I will. Most definitely.
Okay. Thank you. And that is Rees Todd in the hive, everybody. He's a cool dude. I never met Rees before, and he's a really great guy. And we really wish him and his brother, Renton, a very successful and great future in Speedway. And we're seeing these guys we're seeing these guys and everybody really developing. There's a real big bump up in development in the Speedway world, and it's really nice to see that, to be honest with you, and to see these guys, they're riding safe. You know, they're not crashing each other very much at all, and they're riding really safe, and they're just doing really well. So we're really excited about that and watching the progress of all the young riders, and we're really pulling for you guys, and that's really important. You know, we're all together here, and we want to wish everyone the best. Just keep riding safe, keep riding hard, and getting that seat time, that racing time, just get better and better, and it never stops, it never ends. So thank you so much for watching the Beehive today and the Rees Todd show. That was really a great show, and we really appreciate that. And we're going to have another show real soon. I do actually little shows too by myself, so we're going to probably have a couple little shows going up before we have some shows next week. We're lining up the guests right now, so stay with us, and we're going to have some really great shows coming up, and I'll do some solo shows too. I'm kind of having fun. I did the show on the typhoon surfing, and I'll probably do these fun shows of my travel or whatever. So I do a lot more than just writing and doing the shows, and we just have a good time here for sure. So thank you so much for hanging out with us in the hive. Ride safe, be smooth, and always take care, and no crashes. We don't like crashes. And we're going to see you hopefully in the next day or so on a new show. So take care. Thank you, Rees Todd. You did a great job. And thank you all the Speedway people and the Speedway family. And we're going to hopefully have some really good shows coming up. So have a great one. We'll talk to you soon. And take care.